Hello. Let me hear. Tikonto, Phoenix, Ekles. Welcome, welcome. YouTube, Steam Veteran, SL, Rylot, Fevzi, welcome. My crystals, of course, they're my crystals. Full life skill. I'm fishing with 2.6k mastery, if you guys wonder. If you guys wonder where I am at, I'm at the Edania spot. This is the spot, this is the other spot, and there are other spots too, but like, it's not that much profitable. It's because you can have this fish, but it's pretty rare, not gonna lie. And there is no other red fish resources. And it's just making spot is a little bit, you know, heavy RNG dependent. I'll try to fish at this spot like in few months later maybe when they just bring the alchemist stone. We will see that how much chrome stones we will use to the alchemist stone system to upgrade it and enhance it. If I can spare some chrome stones for my future, I want to just make my prions to the sept or oct full set. Then I'll reach this 3k fishing mastery, and I'll try to, you know, fish at this spot again. Most of the time I do not fish, but I was just kind of heavy busy today because of that busy situation. I just left my character at here, and she's just here. Yes, Digital, welcome. Black Spirit Radio finally arrived. Like, I went vacation, some other people just, you know, business things. But now, today, this... Wait, hold up. Feed hashtag or ads by Septimus Prime. Yep. Today we will do that podcast with BP. Like, if BP just wants to do that, I will also ask him. Archive arrived. There is another guy. I don't know his... I can see his name. It's IDEX. Okay, it's IDEX. Thank you so much, MS500. Welcome. By the way, for Turkish viewers, I have to do some announcement for them. Bugün akşam Türkçe yayın var. Saat 7'de başlıyor. Bu neydi onun adı? Şeyin PvP'sini göstermeye çalışacağım. Aynı zamanda sonrasında sohbet muhabbet ederiz, takılırız falan filan, haberiniz olsun. 2 ayda bir falan yapıyorum bunu. Şimdi normal yayına geri dönüyorum. IDEX Neri Archive, Yellow, Chicken, BP, Mazes and me. What the heck? Really, Higa? His menu is just big, like my dig. I just checked my character and stopped fishing during the night. I don't know why. I don't know, Complex. Maybe you have some kind of internet issue and your character just reloaded itself. We have huge today. True. Let's just turn the sound off. How was stream on YouTube, chat? YouTube is giving some kind of... YouTube fellas, how is stream? Can you please check it? Maybe I should just refresh it. How is Wukong right now in PB? Top 5. Play. It's very nice. I will off the stream on YouTube and I will restart stream for YouTube, okay? It's giving some kind of error. Okay, I restarted for YouTube. Okay, it started again. Guys, I have one request from you. for Twitch people. There is a link in chat. May you please go YouTube and check the YouTube live stream, how it's looking. And also do not forget to like that live stream. It seems like it's pretty okay. Yeah, it's pretty okay. Okay. I was lagging about 2 minutes ago, but seems good now. Yeah, digital. I think it's just YouTube said me that there's a lag, but now is everything good? Yeah, everything is good. Okay. So may you please like the YouTube live stream so people can see it. This stream will be very nice. We will just yap a lot. Let me just call the BP. What is he doing? Okay, let's call him. Can I? This one? I'm calling BP, but I don't know if he can just recall it back. I'll off my microphone. Okay, we are waiting the BP. Hello, Sony here. Okay. So just off the Sonys. Like there are lots of things in front of me right now. I'm trying to set them up. Let me just off on my camera. Why is it not showing my camera? Normally it used to give me my, but it's okay. The people will see me in the left side on the screen. Okay, because of the no, it's not like multi-stream. I called BP, so on my monitor, you guys will, people also will see, sound is echoing. BP, if it is possible, probably, yeah, maybe. No, not Discord. It's probably he's watching me, or maybe BP, check the call thing and mute me from there. You're not in the call? I'm in there, but I don't know how to say. I off everything. I hear nothing. Just call active. So how is now in your chat? Am I echoing still? Okay. Okay, nice then. All right. BP, can you share, if it is possible, webcam? In Discord. I see you're grinding with Warrior Pain. Yeah, it's there. It's frozen here. It's black. I showed myself. There's some kind of thing in here. It says show my camera, and also it says camera preview or something. I clicked that and it's working right now. I'm also using it. It's interesting. I'm doing it on from NVIDIA Broadcast. Do you use that program? I get it. I get it. So like, let me just try to explain. Like, Higa will just manage everything. I'll just make some kind of intro for YouTube people, because we also upload this on YouTube and people use listen this as a podcast. There's a podcast playlist. Then Higa will just control us. He is the manager. Like BP, if you don't know, I can just if you didn't see it in the Discord, Higa shared something. Where is it? 31st. The layout. Did you see the layout? Mm-hmm.
Hours we could be japping about this.
Okay.
But let's try to, give a good image on how much the game has changed the past month, because pretty much we've been since July without doing any podcasts, so pretty much 2 months, and it's been very intense. Let's just say that.
Okay. I think with Gucci, you see Higa, you see me on the screen.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So people, I think you guys are ready. Are we just expect yellow?
I've been messaging the ones that are missing, and I've gave them the word that if they are ready at some point, they just join and they can just, I'll introduce them and they can just hop in.
It's okay. It's okay. If you guys are ready, I can just start.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
Let's get confirmation on ADEX. You hear ADEX?
Ready? Yep.
Okay. And if BP is up to, then we shall see.
Okay, I'm just doing some kind of intro. Hello YouTube, welcome. In this video, I can call it like a podcast. We will talk about the current state of the game. We got lots of patches and lots of other things, Most of you just, I don't know how to say, used to this podcast, Black Spirit Radio. I was at vacation. Some other people got some busy things and other things. But now we have like lots of other people to talk about the game. Like we got BP today, and we have Archive, we have IDEX, we have Higa as a manager, as you guys know, and there are lots of people will join after this thing. I'm expecting like 3 hours non-stop yapping on this podcast, but we will see what is like what's on the new, like what's on the menu. Okay, let's go and check. I'm live on Twitch, I'm live on YouTube. We're just streaming some kind of cooperation with BP right now. BP is also live. You guys will just find everything in the link of the description on the YouTube. Everything is fine. We're good. Yeah, like let's start. Higa, it's on you, my friend.
Sent in ourselves, so let's go in order that we have here in our stream. Sadex, could you please introduce yourself? Who are you?
Hello, I'm IDEX, the DOSA prodigy,
The avatar himself.
the avatar
Okay.
himself. Yeah, I mainly stream Awakening DOSA content, PvE, bit of PvP as well. I try to min-max on this class as much as possible because otherwise it is an absolute disaster. Please buff my class PA, thank you.
Okay, Bicep. You can. I'm pretty sure that everyone in the video community knows you, but please introduce yourself.
Hello, I am SONY, or Perceptions Prime, or Nosferatu, or Daisy, and I am a warrior main for now. Waiting for Savior. Obviously, I've been a Savior main since 2014, and I'm an EU live skiller on NA.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I stream at Twitch as Perceptions Prime.
Thank you. Okay, Archive, your turn.
Hi, I'm Archive, Awakening Sage player since release. Well, Sage player since release, swapped to Awakening on when the spec released. I wrote guides for the class, most prominently the currently live and standing Awakening Sage guide that people refer to learn the class. And I publish videos on YouTube occasionally for min-max grinding in new and older spots.
Okay. And I'm Higa. I'm trying to manage this podcast the best I can so that we make it in a smooth and interesting way for everyone. And there's, let's just say, a lot to talk about. It's been pretty much 2 months that we haven't talked about anything video related. Holidays were in between. I hope everyone had a good summer. But let's just say that the game has changed a lot on these 2 months. It's been quite intense. I hope everyone agrees on these. So let's just try to do a good picture on the current state of the game, what things have changed, and what can we start with? I guess we can go with the gear overall changes. There's been a lot of updates on gear, and I'm just gonna try to enunciate some of the main ones, like, for example, the arrival of the new Sovereign offhand weapon, the addition of Garmoth Heart on the main hand, certain enhancements on our weapons now give more AP. They updated the AP on earrings. What else for the gear? They have revamped completely how the monster to damage works depending on the AP. So yeah, what do you guys think is the direction or the goal for this game now that with all these big changes in gear? Let's start things off with maybe ADEX.
I think what they're trying to do is like immensely simplify the game. Yeah. But at the same time, all these changes are also quite a bit overwhelming. There's so many new items that you have to go through. And the new zone now, Idania, like a lot of things are pushing you to get the new pieces of gear. Otherwise, you cannot even access it. And I'm a little bit afraid for, in the sense for the future, when Idania Part 2 releases, that this piece of content is going to be extremely difficult to get to for most players in the game.
Okay. And do we think, I can send this question maybe to Bicep, do you think that this fear of actually giving this high stats to newer or, just arrived or even veteran players, because we are just needing to push for that gear grind, is it that like overwhelming? Is it what the game needed? Is it good for the game? What do you think?
I mean, yeah, like I like that the game allows you to play it, right? Like the video at the end of the day is a progression game. So if you don't have stuff to progress on, it's like, oh, I want to get hard cap and all that. But it's like, yeah, but then what is there really to do? Then you start playing the game or one. The game really is just the progression at the end of the day. So like having more stuff to do, and like I don't really see that as a bad thing. I think there's a lot of people trying to speedrun and min-max it, and they burn out instead of just like actually kicking back and then enjoying the journey. It's something that like I think we all more or less learn along the way, and that's why we're still playing, because we've gotten to that point. But like just in regards to the new region, it's one of those things where the new region, right? So I don't know if you guys know that the hard cap AP in the game is 395 right now. Like that's the absolute hard cap. You cannot get more, and that is the requirements for Kafris, the fifth boss right we're getting. So there's going to be a Dania Part 2 with 5 more castles, and realistically they would have higher requirements. So the only way they can do that is by adding new gear. So like sure, like oh, new gear, that's so much. I'm not even capped out on current gear, but a lot of times people miss the context. Every time they add new gear, they make it easier to get the old gear. So adding like say a new tier of accessories, it actually means then reaching the AP requirements for Dania Part 1 becomes easier. Depending obviously on how they introduce it, but that's how they've been doing it. It's like now they've been doing the new armors. What did they do? Well, they added this enhancing stones. They did the tri-folding guard. Look at the armor prices on your server right now. Tanked. It's never been easier getting DP. So there's always like a context to these things and requirements that actually does benefit newer players a lot more than like you see initially.
I definitely agree. I think that newer players actually have a way easier time getting all this gear, even though it seems a little bit overwhelming for them because it's actually a complex system, even though they've tried to make it even easier. But I think they definitely have an easier time getting onto this. But yeah, Archive, what do you think about all these new additions gear-wise related? How do you find them?
So as far as getting older gear is concerned, as Septimus said, getting DP, getting older gear, mostly falling goals up to try, has definitely never been as easy as it is right now. You can get let's say, off-brand hammers, 2-tap dual from PW9 and from Attraction tokens. And you can get the ones for try by grinding Nymphomare, which is relatively accessible for well, not hard-capped people. So getting up to try, even with the new deck to Vala thing that you can exchange into a try piece, I think they did it in a really good way. They're not straight up giving you a piece for absolutely free, which I don't think should ever be the case for a catch-up mechanic, but they're making it more accessible and pretty straightforward. The one thing I don't like of all the new gear additions is how they decided to, let's say, distribute access for Edania piece upgrades. The fact that having more gear allows you to do more taps per week on a time-gated content. I know this is new gear and pretty much endgame gear, but it's like structured like this, it sort of works like a reverse catch-up mechanic. If you're ahead of others, you are gonna go even further ahead. I don't mind higher level bosses having like better rewards silver-wise, and even items that right now are hard to get, like the new perfumes. But giving more time-gated items just for having more gear, I think that was a pretty bad move. But other than that specific point, honestly, I like pretty much everything else of the gear additions.
Yeah. Okay. And for you, Quenya, this ball is going to you. Okay, hold up. Yeah. So,
Okay.
how has been your experience in getting all this new sort of gear, like one tapping, I don't know what, X sovereign offhand? How
Bro,
has
this
it
game
been?
is,
How do you find it? I
you
need to
know,
teach you how to twerk. I need to teach you.
yeah, like
That's for sure.
one tapping is totally, easy in this game. Just tap and it will
Mm-hmm.
success and there'll be no problem.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah.
As having like all 3 deck weapons and some other, special gears in the game, it's totally fine for me. But here is the thing. Let's just talk some serious business things. So like right now is just reaching to the Fallen Guard armors easier to compare to before. So people can just like hop into the Adania part faster compared to before. On the other hand, I saw that lots of people crying about lots of progression, something like, yeah, they're like compared to older versions. In before, there was progression too. People just missing that. The progression was meaning nothing. Now it means lots of things. Even one sheet AP or one sheet DP is giving you lots of things. So it's just constant progression is, tying you like very tying you like in a game. You just go grind. When you gear progress 2-3 gears at the same time, you feel it, the difference in between them. I can clearly say that when we get this new patch, like I was tanky compared to before. Normally I was just dying with my full RBF setup on uncapped. But now I'm tanky. And I'll be more tankier. And I'll still be able to just hit people. Like, I felt the gear difference from my perspective compared to other people in uncapped. So people were calling that everything is just capped, but in uncapped, there is no big difference in between like tri armors and tet armors. But now there is difference. They changed the damage formula. They changed lots of things in the game. We will talk about the accuracy evasion thing. It's in our program. And they changed lots of things. In long term, we will understand that this is a good way. This is better. Because we are playing MMORPG. And in MMORPG progression, like in Black Desert Online, it's endless. And when you progress, it means something. At least from my perspective, I experienced it. And you guys will understand when you just reach like actual like 850, 860 levels, you will see the difference between you and the other people. Before we were calling that, hey, what's the difference between me and duo armor guy? That guy is just getting one shot, I'm just getting one shot. Or with just like sept weapons, he's being able to kill me. Why should I just go for like full deck gear or something? We're just saying like, hey, fuck it, I don't want to play this game. No need to do progression things. Some progression, people feels like some pressure on their gameplay, but I'm calling myself veteran. Like, I'm just chilling out. Only 1, maybe 2 hours grinding a day. Like, no need to just consume everything. They're like long way. Until Coffee and Ball, there will be nothing for like 6 months. Of course, we'll get part 1's, stage 2, or I don't know. But take it easy. You guys will understand that what I'm saying in future. This is better than before. Definitely better than before about the feeling of progression. That's all. That's what I feel.
Yeah. I think it's a purpose that everyone has to enjoy the ride and enjoy the progression. I think that everyone here can agree. I think we are all veteran enough that we've had a long time where actually gear progression didn't mean that much. And now with all the changes, it's given, like a purpose was given, right? Like you actually need this to get to do this content. And if you guys up there with the 840 or even more, 850, I think you are right, Quenya. Yes, you think that actually is meaning a difference with all the players. Everyone has to, take it easy and get it over there, right?
Like what I'm saying, that I was building like 950 AP for the current state. Maybe it will mean nothing in future, but right now 950 40 AP with I was just like reaching to 700 DR. I was dealing enough damage to kill people, and I was being able to not die with few skills while standing. Yes, when someone catch me, like Awaken Sage, 2 taps me when they catch me with a down attack, and that's super burst. But I wasn't just dying while I'm standing, while I'm casting my skills. That was just show me that what I told myself, what if I just do all my armors to Nov and deck level? Then I'll be super giga tanky and I will have enough AP to just shred people. That's what I felt.
Okay. So I'm gonna use this sort of topic to go first on the PvP, because how do you guys? I haven't done that much PvP because of holidays and all that. But if any of you here, this is for you. How has the PvP been affected with all the changes in gear? How do we feel right now? Because we're coming from a sort of tank meta where we feel that a lot of classes were unkillable. With all the changes that there's been on the gear, we will talk about the formulas and evasion and all that. We can include it in here. How do you guys feel like right now? How is the current meta? Are we still on a tank meta?
It's, I would say, still definitely a tank meta. Not a lot changed from before. If we're talking about construction node, for example, FTs, the debuff that they added to FTs helps a lot. But overall, in fights, like Carpet, Zerkers, Mystics, as vacuums again, and they kind of overcompensated. They still have a gigantic impact on the fights. But with all the gear changes and the damage formula changes, I do feel like tanks are slightly easier to kill than before. They are punishable. They're not completely immortal. At the same time, though, it feels like the squishies are not getting one-tap standing anymore. It somewhat feels better, but we're still not quite there yet.
Okay. What about, because BP plays in NA, how are you feeling the meta has shifted with all the gear?
I mean, I'm a filthy meta class abuser on Awakening Warrior, right? Strongest class in the game, so I don't really feel a big difference. Not like I've just done a bunch of ones like small GBGs and things, and I mean my class is completely unplayable, so I'm on the ground the entire time. So, I haven't really felt too much. I still feel like people are giga tanky, and yeah, I'm stacking Jin crystals as well, like an unethical abuser. Well, I don't feel like too much. Maybe there's like a slight difference, but we still need like the rest of the gear, and yeah, I don't know. I still not convinced there's enough damage in the game. Maybe like we're gonna get some more with the next two castles, right? We're gonna get 12 AP on the artifacts, but is that gonna make a difference? They need to do something about the like the 3-4 Jin crystal build, not the 6 one, which they're doing at the moment with all those stacking regular crystals, right? Before we'll see like a big difference. Or we just need more AP in the game, which they'll probably bring out with Idania Part 2. So who knows?
Are we calling a new item, a new alchemy stone? What are we calling over there? Do you have any
I mean, it's basically guaranteed that they'll bring out more gear. Either, like, I'm personally leaning towards the probability of new tier of accessories being number one, but it could totally be a new item between like your head and shoulders, right? That's a nice little spot up there.
I'm expecting.
I mean, Alchemy Stone reworks are coming. I think it's also guaranteed that we'll get a combined, like the old Alchemy Stone and combinable sword. But realistically, we're gonna need 25 AP in the game to get like 5 AP scaling on the next 5 bosses, as Kefros is the hard capped AP. So if we assume there's 5 bosses, right, and 5 AP scaling in each, that's 25 AP that's not in the game right now. So I don't think they're gonna make an Alchemy Stone with 25 AP. They want something that you enhance, right? So either a new cape slot where you can get like AP on, or maybe just actually a new set of accessories. Or maybe like max is going to be 5 AP per accessory. So that's like a total of 30 AP. It makes sense, right?
Now here comes the Japan part, because you say they want something that you can enhance. But in those images that were shown on the ball, in the idle ball, there was like enhancing stones and also cron stones on those images. And also a PT system. Doesn't that count like an enhancing item?
Oh, wait. Oh, yeah, I guess. True. That's like, yeah, I guess. Well, obviously they're gonna do the splendid and shining all, right? But I'm thinking more like they're probably gonna combine Velsart. But it's like at that point, like, so if they do it like that, it's gonna be like you enhance an alchemy stone in the tier, and then you also enhance it with the AP, so it's like double enhancing. So like with the old alchemy stone system being, you already enhance it there. I guess they could add an AP on it, but at that point you just give people stuff for free. Which, I mean, they've done in the past, so it could be.
So how would be my idea? when you make Shining as an end game player, I'm just talking end game player, just casuals and normal like early game players, it's too far away from you. You're gonna get Shining. You will have like wells. You're gonna combine them. You will just create a new Shining wells HUD, and you will be able to enhance it to get more sheet AP, to just be able to grind at the Kafras or other places freely. So like deck.
So it's like a sovereign alchemy stone, right?
Yeah,
I guess.
to enhance
So like
it
once you combine those two items, it's like you go to the NPC with the two black stars and convert it into this new type of item that you can then enhance.
Maybe.
I could see
Something
that.
like that.
I could see that. Yeah, I could see that. The problem is just what do you do with the protection stone?
Yep.
And the life stone.
You combine it with Khan.
Yeah,
I
combine
think
with
what they're
Khan.
gonna do probably. Like
Combine
I have this gut feeling, but I think what they might do, and I think it's probably the easiest way for them to do it without trivializing certain alchemy stones or making the system a bit too convoluted, would be to have a new type of alchemy stone reform that can also be enhanced like an accessory or a weapon up to deck, and then you can put it on any alchemy stone, so you still maintain the stats from the alchemy stone itself, like the shining, the splendid.
Okay.
I mean, personally, I think they're going to just allow
sorry.
you to combine the 3 AP from Belsard, and then they're going to bring out new accessories here, right? We already have the carousel system. It was the first one. It was relatively easy, right, to dig it when it came out. If you were full PN at that point, you had 1 enhancement level, which compared to the other Sovereign is a joke in difficulty. Like, it's just so much easier having full deck accessories than it getting 1 deck Sovereign. So it makes sense that would be the next one, and you can just do the conversion. Or you have a deck, you get a PN of the new one or whatever it is, right? And if you have an Arc, you get a base or something. And then just like a couple levels there. I just see that as being the more likely, because that way they don't have to rework a system that they're already reworking. They just like add a new. It's also definitely the item that's people are capped out. And at the same time, that would be able to benefit newer players more, rather than having like needing a shining alchemy stone, so it's only benefiting the in-game players. Because they're just gonna make it easier getting the carousels, right? It's already integrated. People can transition in it, so
we will also have to see how easy it is to get the new alchemies, right? Because maybe they make it way more easier now that you can, cron them. Maybe if it's actually how they go.
Maybe it's another world boss like Garmoth.
Oh, imagine! You know what I was thinking, and I was gonna go to you. The new Black Dragon, the Lekrahanan, I think it's the name. Makrahanan, there you go. Maybe they drop a new heart or another heart or whatever.
Dracania's father.
It's not a world boss though. It's one of the 5 castles in the Dana Part 2. So like I could see them, like, let's say you get 5 armor stones from Kafras, right? And then the next one you get 5 armor stones and 1 like upgrade stone for be it the accessories or the alchemy stone, right? And then it goes up to like 5-2, 5-3, and then 5-5. So you can like scale up your stuff that way. I can see that being the case.
Or you could do like both bosses, right? One from the part 1 and another from the part 2. Could be.
Yeah, that could work too.
Okay, I have one last question regarding the alchemies that we've been talking about. They have implemented this sort of changes in the game where they try to reduce the amount of hits. They've tried to remove completely the mouse movement. They've done all these changes in order to help the server stability and try to make it a little bit more playable for everyone, to help out with the syncs and everything. But if we actually get this sort of higher tiers of alchemy stones, those items in itself have more attack speed. How do you guys think are they going to manage with that? Because if everyone is moving and attacking faster, that's going to be on paper worse for the servers too. What do we feel about it?
I think they'll have to, they have to cap it. They have to cap the attack speed. Maybe the same level as Splendid Stone.
There's already cap in attack speed, max attack speed.
Oh, is there?
Yeah, like if I'm not wrong, max you can reach is 150 or something. So with like when you have shy buff, like Z buff, like I don't know which buff and everything that you can stack, you will feel no big difference because you will already be capped at some point.
Oh, then they can
they-
just add more attack speed on it because you don't need, you know, if you're just playing alone, you don't need the shy buff. They can make it up to where it like caps, I guess.
Hmm.
Maybe.
And do they actually stack properly? Because there's this change they did with buffs that cannot overlap themselves. Do they actually stack properly?
I don't know how they stack.
Or do they override?
They capped at somewhere because I remember I read some kind of very important. They've also mentioned that when they just changed about the slows, because we complain about slows, and at that patch they mentioned about there will be max cap at slows, and there will be max cap for attack speed, and it was like 150 or something, or 120. If anyone like remember the patch, they can check it. They will be find that sentence in there. There's a statement.
Okay, I actually didn't know. Okay, before we move on to some other topics, if everyone in here had to pick one of the biggest changes in gear that you think it was positive or that it was interesting, that you find it good, which one would you guys pick? We can start with Gwendia and we can go. Which item would you pick that has been added that it's like crazy good, or that you enjoy the concept, or
Let me think. You asking me that which item as a newbie or something? I was just checking something, please.
Yeah, which item you think is like, I don't know, best addition, the biggest change? Like, for example, I'm gonna put an example. I think that the addition of the Garmoth Heart on the main hand, it's actually quite like crazy because it gives you 50 accuracy. And with all the additions that the accuracy has been having, like evasion, like I don't know if there's a hidden meta that I'm not aware of, but I don't see pretty much anyone but Shies running evasion. So it's a topic that I will talk about and I will introduce after, but I think maybe evasion is dead, and the Garmoth Heart was actually quite good.
So people this is a little bit delusion because they added that additional accuracy, lots of accuracies in other part. They're just adding lots of stats right now in the game. It's a little bit delusion. It's a little bit illusion for all of us because they changed the everything in the game. The base, the roots, and everything changed. The formulas in between classes, like so. If we think like and back, they gave lots of accuracy and evasion is that. We can clearly say that. But it is not. Evasion stacks still working, but there's some kind of full evasion stack is not working, but full DR is working. It's another thing. Because of that, like I can say sub weapon is just is a good thing for me because they just simplified it. You don't need to just go for the other sub weapons. Nowhere Kutum, like evasion sub weapon, accuracy sub weapon, blah 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 blah. Instead of that, having one sub weapon is just mostly solving your issue. And like I said in before, most of the other podcasts, they're trying to simplify the current physical gear, accessories, like armors, weapons. Every one of them is equal and same for like you get the same Karazats. I get same Karazats. Sovereign same, armor same. Everything is same for everyone. But at the end of the day, they're trying to create utility with crystals, with light stones. I mean, this is your utility, or with the reforged stones. How, like, I know it's a cheat system, but it is utility at all. I mean, sub-weapon was okay for me. Armors, like I said, in uncapped PvP, I felt the difference between the new armors and, like, older and the newer version. Definitely felt it, but we still need more armors to see the benefits of them. So I don't want to just give some kind of certain things because I'm not certain about armors. But sub weapon is definitely a big update for the game.
Edex, what do you want to point out out of all the changes that they've done with gear?
This is something purely aesthetical, but I really like it that when you equip the armor, the chest piece, you can use any costume with an idle animation. And you can hide the costume and then have that idle animation on the Edania armor. And it's really cool.
Oh, okay. I actually didn't know that. So you keep the appearance of the new armor, which I think we can
Yeah,
all
you
agree it
use
looks
the
badass.
armor appearance, and then
But you
you
actually
equip
have the
any chest
idol.
piece with an idle animation. You hide the chest piece of the costume, and then you will get that idle animation on the Edania armor.
Ooh, I actually didn't know. Okay, okay. What about you, VP? Do you want to point out one specific piece of gear or update that they've done regarding gear that you think was crazy good for the game? Maybe he's killing the Titan and he has to focus.
What is it?
Sorry, like I'm yapping. Chat is completely cooked right now. I didn't hear
okay, okay. We
What was the
can
question?
jump up. Yeah, I was asking if you had to pick one of like the, one of the best additions into the game gear-wise or changes that they've done in these sort of 2 months frame. Which one would you pick? It was the best for the game, or that you enjoyed the most?
Oh, for gearing the last 2 months?
Yeah.
I mean, that's just like I think the Karasat edition was the best. They just need to make it worth enhancing again.
Okay. Okay.
I mean, I like the armors. I think also so in terms of like actual the game. Something I talked a lot about with when like Chet was like the end, right? Nobody was going for pin. It was not even worth it. You got a pin, great. You got 3 DR. It was the issue of like PvE scaling as well, not being able to really get harder. It only was being attached to like how much AP you had. So I think it's healthy for the game that you want to progress your DP also.
Okay.
So I'm happy that they are able to make content now that not only like sure they have like hard caps on it, but actually requires you to progress your DP as well. So I'm happy about that. Now we can make harder PvE content. That could be fun. I'm hoping the next 2 bosses are gonna be hard.
And group PvE spots, please. That would be crazy. What about you, Archive?
Yeah, I mean we need AP for the PvP, right? That's definitely.
Yeah.
I have a question. There was
I-
some kind of drama. Like, did Bob Lave and Lave, or people call it Pod Lave, did Bob Lave and Blue, they just talked about the group spots. I couldn't catch that drama. Or it wasn't drama, but they were just arguing about it. Did Enlave said there will be no group spots anymore? Or something like that? Anyone knows?
I didn't catch on that.
It wasn't like Andre didn't say anything specifically in that regard. It was more of a stance from PA itself that they're going to focus on solo content. But basically, the reason they're shifting the focus. Well, not the reason they're shifting the focus. The reason we didn't end up getting the group spots that we were waiting for, GIGABYTE and the Mirmok that they announced 2 Heidelbolts ago, was that allegedly this was the reason that people were complaining that they didn't want data spots anymore because they are basically seen as lazy recycled content. The thing is, people are indecisive, and also people care more about having group spots than not having quote-unquote recycled content. And I mean that's relatable. Even though data spots have pretty simplistic design, they don't require a lot of development effort, and they're not really a fresh addition to the game. I think we would all appreciate more group content. And now I don't know if PA is going to change their stance in that regard, but in the conversation between Andlave and Blue, and Andlave was asking Blue to ask his chat if people would have liked to have GIGABYTE and Mirmok, even though they're if they would have liked to have new group spots, even at the cost of them being data spots. People obviously said yes, so I don't know if PA is going to change their stance. Maybe they're going to go back and give a look at it, but we'll see. Only time will tell.
It's like whenever I think of group spots, I'm gonna give, I think, 2 examples of how they could approach group spots. You have a very good idea, which was, I don't know if you guys grinded there, Abandoned Monastery. You know, the cave spot, the duo spot that had a boss, and it was a server announcement, and that spot was fun. I remember having and enjoying grabbing my partner in my old guild and going there and just spending 2-3 hours. Like the time went flying because basically you were grinding with someone, which is the good point of actually grinding. That you enjoy the game, you're japping with your friends, we're sitting on a call, you're talking about how shit the node was that day. I don't know. Duos, but as an idea, also Turos, whenever they first released, that was great concept. I enjoyed them a lot. And we also have the example, I don't know if everyone remembers here, the old days of 12 trees at Miromok. That was crazy. Like, we also had the concept of the Marowak Labyrinth, but I remember those days you grabbed a bunch of guildies and you actually enjoyed the game. You played the game for hours and you wouldn't even notice it. I want that sort of sense of, gathering your good friends and japping for hours and doing something that it's like renting, right? It's playing the game and it's fun. I don't know. I don't know. I miss that game sense in video in current days. What do you guys feel about it?
Yeah, no, I agree. Like, I think, especially older players that have been playing for a while and they develop their own social circle, the main reason they still play the game is because they have people to play it with and share the experience. Not having group posts at all, not having something to enjoy with friends while making money, while grinding, which is, for most people, a pretty repetitive and tedious experience at the end of the day. Running in circles for hours. It can be fun for a bit, but then it's just, it doesn't get any more fresh or entertaining. Being able to share at least that with friends and turn your brain off and just talk about other things, it's relieves the effort a lot.
I mean, it's positive for the game, right? Because if there's people that don't know anybody or wants to be included into a community or whatever, they just make small groups and start, including people and making bigger the communities, right? It makes people to actually interact with each other. I don't know. I just feel like it's positive in all the ways for the game, but it is what it is. If Bicep, if you would want the sense of a group spot that we've mentioned, like Abandoned Monastery, Mirumok, which sort of party content grind spots would you like to be added? Which what feelings of that party content PB are you missing in current video?
So like I'm one of those people that like I do like doing group content. One of my favorite grind arcs of all time was doing the like Olden grind with the Arian and Quantum every morning. But I'm also a person that plays on off hours and all, like hard getting groups. If I got the say in making a party grinding, it wouldn't be really party grinding. It would be like the Spider Dungeon, Morrowind, what it's called in Winter Region, where basically it's solo grinding. You go to a grind spot and you just grind it. You grind solo. And the more people are grinding the zone, the more like energy you build up to spawn a boss. So you go there as a solo grind, just grind, but more people benefits others. So you see a white that's like, oh great, somebody else is grinding. So you don't need to get a group going into the place. You go solo and then the group forms at the place. That's the kind of stuff I feel fits into the BDO style of grinding with group content. Yeah, so that's what I would like to see.
Okay. Do you feel like it could be possible with someone? I had a couple of friends in the guild that were actually like investigating the areas, like the Karshan realm and the how is it called, the Kafra's castle, the Kafra's realm, and they actually thought about something in Karshan, like there's circles, and maybe they could work in some type of way similar to Marowak. I would love to see that too.
That would be really
given
cool.
that possibility, like everyone goes into their circle, they start doing their thing, and they collaborate to build up something up. I don't know. It could be cool.
Yeah, I think the problem with the Idania and group grinding is, of course, the Idana being able to like go into money realms to make silver. I'm not sure how that would work with group content, right? So I don't really see them doing, because of that. I just don't really see them actually doing like any group grinding in Idania. But it's like, to me, like I just like quickly say, this is my view on group grinding video. I think it's great. I think it should be like an option for a lot of things, and it should, but there should be a solo version of it that is slightly worse. I'm not a fan of anything being gated behind group content like the merging, like these unique things that you can only get and it's a group spot. I'm not a fan. Group shots should be the best way of doing it, but not the only.
Okay.
But I would want more, that's for sure. I think it's super lame they removed Duo Taurus. They should just have added the flame to a solo spot.
Yeah.
Or just made the normal Taurus a solo spot and kept Deke as a duo. Like, I think...
Yeah, that's sure.
But most of the people would have been...
Think in an ideal world, they should...
Yeah.
In an ideal world, it would be awesome to have, whenever they release new grind spots, to have a solo spot and a group spot in the same zone. So you can choose to either grind solo or in a group, and then when you grind in a group, it's like a little bit more beneficial because you have to find other people to play with, but not to like an insane amount, right? Just a little
No,
bit.
it should just be a bit better, yeah. It should be worth setting up the group because it requires effort, right?
Yes, exactly. And it would also be really nice that, you know, these people work together, the solo grinders and the group grinders, and then at some point when you kill X amount of mobs or something, or like in was it Morrowind, where you charge up something, a boss spawns, and then everybody can go kill the boss.
Yes, and there's a small announcement in the zone, not global, but like in the zone.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, the boss is spawning, and you can call in the homies, like, and try and contest it if you want to. But it shouldn't be like was it a banned monster where it's like a server-wide announcement, so people just lock their ults. Okay,
exactly.
Like be in the zone, and then you could call
in the
the
good
homies
old
to
days, GBGs and all everything, people would get crazy mad about the contest of the boss and everything. Like that generated PvP and all that. I miss those days. Oh my god!
But I still don't think there should be like a global. If it's in the zone, then it's going to be somebody that's actually grinding there. That's going to call in the boys, right? And then they could contest it still. Whereas, like, you would just have people that wasn't even grinding. Like, you saw the announcement. Oh, okay, guys, lock the ults. Let's go over there and just steal it. I think just having like a grind announcement.
Yeah,
that would be good.
Imagine like guilds, entire guilds, like, hey, everyone, this is spawning. Go to this server, everyone, go. And you see actually guilds punching a mob. And actually, that would be fun PvP because everyone wouldn't be with their fucking DR crystals. But let's just try to round it up with the PvP changes. I want to do a quick note on the death of mouse movement. How do you guys have been feeling in your classes? Has it been? Has your class been affected by that? How overall do you guys think it has been affecting video?
For me in particular, I could never use mouse movement on Dosa, but I feel way less desync now in PvP. Like way less desync. Except for like some Zerker abilities where they do like the forward F and then grab you. It's like a skill thing, but in general, I notice way less desync.
What about you, Quenya? Do you like the removal? How have you been feeling?
Yeah, I definitely liked it because this game is not designed for like, or game is designed or maybe not designed. I don't know. Game couldn't handle the mouse movement, and even still, if you just add it again, the old problems will just start again from scratch. So from my perspective, that was amazing. But again and again, people just calling me that you just hate Berserker or something. Yes, I do hate from Berserker. And they just removed mouse movement from Berserker, already one of the best PP class in the game. I don't know why for over 4 years. Like somebody's definitely playing that class in the devs team. There is no other explanation. They just removed and finally class turned to some kind of normal class that you can compete and fight against it, because the class has like 3 heals, 3 grabs, 5 super armor protection with the CC. Damage is not bad. Now class is viable in PB. Like after the mouse movement, what they did, like classic PA, they want to keep that suck Berserker is just OP. Now class still OP because they just gave, hey, we're taking mouse movement from you, but don't worry, you'll feel almost no difference. We will just give more feature to you and you will feel like better. Like when I talk with my Berserker friends, they were saying that in the before Berserker without mouse movement, and if you compare it right now, this is 10 times better than the before. without mouse movement. So it's good for like other players who cannot, play with the mouse movement. So now everyone can play it easily, and this class is giga overbroken or something. But that's what they said. This is Berserker mains that when I talk with them, and actual and objective Berserker mains, and they were whining about Awakening, like why they just do these things. Like they also did some other things, buffs and for example, like Ninja got some additional buffs if I'm not wrong, maybe Kuno for mouse movement, but we didn't see the difference that much. But we just removed mouse movement but no worry, Suck Berserker players, we will give you more. It's okay, but that was the broken thing in the game. You just fixed it, and you were just like, again, I'm sorry to say that, but sucking cock of Succession Berserker players. Stop to do that. Like, I hated that. I am totally fine with the mouse movement changes, but to just point out that the one class and we will just give you more, don't worry. That's the point that I just, like the devs and their takes about some other things. I always say that they are incompetent about the classes. They're amazing to, create new contents and other things, but the class balance, they accepted that. They are incompetent and they are very bad. And they have no fucking clue what's going on in the game in between classes. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking about mouse movement patch.
What do you feel about mouse move? Did Warrior need a lot of mouse move? PP?
I mean, though, basically you would mouse move the grab, the Goldstein special, right? Mouse move the grab to grab on top of other people to extend CCs. But other than that, it would be like charging thrust for, and you did it only to desync because like it's just front guard garbage movement. So you would mouse move charging thrust literally to desync. It was the only purpose of doing it. So like it's whatever. I'm happy mouse movement is gone. I think it's way better for the game, way healthier. And yeah, that's about it.
Okay. Archive. Our
I do think
enlightening
that sucked out, but, yeah.
Oh, sorry. Our Shifty, it's also not being able to mouse move anymore. Do you like it? Do you think it's good? How are we feeling about it?
Well, the mouse movement removal from a class that benefited from it, especially on Shifty, it took away a lot of RCC potential, which that's one of the few things Sage is not amazing at. Like it has a shit ton of damage, has a shit ton of movement. The CC potential isn't great. Mouse movement removal took away some of it, but it's still at a core point is still fine. I don't mind it. It did make, in general, PvP feel a bit less fun, and it makes it takes some skill expression away. But on the other hand, it was a necessary change for the game for two reasons. First being to reduce desync and abrupt actions that the game just can't handle it. And second of all, since some classes benefited a lot from mouse movement and other classes didn't benefit at all, the removal was needed for the simple reason that it's easier to start balancing things when all classes play by the same rules.
I have to agree on that point. I think with all the changes that they've done, especially with converting 1% of evasion accuracy converted flat to 4, all those changes have established a level where I think all the classes, and with the damage modifiers that we will talk in a bit, they've set up a level where everything is easier, let's just say, to balance and adjust. They've made an environment that for them it's better to actually watch and gather some information, some data, and see what classes are doing bad in what aspect and balance it around it. But somewhat, I feel like with the current directions that we are seeing on the class balancing, some of them are understandable, some of them are not. But yeah, I think they have established a healthier environment for them if they actually want to do balancing in a better way. That's what I think. But yeah, let's talk about now all the changes that I've just mentioned, the accuracy and evasion adjustments, also including the damage formula revamped, how all these buffs that we've talked, even the PA buff being slightly reworked. The big question, because they've changed it, does anyone know how the damage formula work now?
Damage formula for what? For PvE, PvP?
Let's just say for now, PvP.
Well, the damage formula itself for PvP didn't really change compared to before. We already have AP being reduced by 95% below the DR breakpoint. Like all your AP below the DR breakpoint of the target you're hitting is reduced by 95%, and above it applies in full. As for evasion, it's a bit more finicky. Your damage is basically reduced up to 90% depending on your hit rate. It can be reduced by less if you have higher hit rate.
Okay. So is it well said that the damage formula revamp was more the PvE side, it actually affected the PvP?
For summons, I noticed it affected PvP.
Oh yeah,
a little bit.
Yeah, the summons changed a lot.
The summons do quite a bit more damage now.
Okay. So summon damage classes, we are kind of gathered in here. How did you feel about your DOSA improvements in that regard? Because they also, one of the classes that I didn't expect to be hit with such strength of the nerf hammer was Awakening DOSA. How did you feel about that?
It's tragic. I don't know what else to say. It's really bad. You are forced to play with other people, and if you play alone, you feel you cannot CC anyone really. And if you CC someone, the timing you CC someone is so short. You need to have like your cooldowns available, and most of your cooldowns are like 12 seconds long. So it's like you need to think about everything on the spot. Like, do I have this skill available? Do I have my KD? Because you only really have one KD unless you add another core skill to it. And the core skill is also a 12-second cooldown on the KD. So you're like insanely limited. You are forced to play in a team play mindset. Otherwise, it's just not working.
You're just a worse shy. What can I say?
Yeah. I mean, the damage is great. At least I didn't nerf that. But the CC potential is kind of like Archive says. It's like really difficult. But it's even more difficult now because you only have like one low cooldown KD.
Yeah. And the summon damage has really been noticeable, I feel like, for us Ages. Did you... I mean, I feel like I do an immense amount of damage in PvP-wise when I have to do damage. Like, unless they are carpet, we do a lot of damage. How do we feel about that, Archive? About the summon damage?
I think in some cases it's better, in some cases it's worse. Some classes like Awakening DOSA, for example, the summon, correct me, Adex, if I'm wrong, the summon doesn't have down attack damage.
No, it doesn't, but it has back attack and crit damage.
Yeah, so it's better than before in PvE, especially since now you get the extra crit rate from Sovereign Offend, which on DOSA is a game changer. In PvP, though, it's for DOSA and for, I don't know which other summons don't have down attack. Some summons have taken a hit. Other summons, though, especially summons that come from BSRs, they're really, really strong now. Sage, then, all the summons have down attack and they have really high crit rate, so the summons are really strong. I think overall, if some things are too weak or too strong, they're going to be easier to rebalance in the future because now, again, summons play by the same rules as any other damage source. But I think, like, overall, it feels pretty balanced right now. I don't see any summon.
I feel the same.
I don't see any summon that doesn't do damage when it's supposed to, or the other way around. summons that are only supposed to be CC bots, like for example, the Nova minions when she's just fishing.
Mm-hmm.
They don't really do CCs, but again, they're not supposed to. And summons that are supposed to do damage, like the Sage summons, the Dosa summons, they're doing their job pretty well.
Okay. So that they made a good work over there on that one. Yeah. I mean, also unifying, let's just say, the 89.29% damage baseline for all the damage ratio for all the classes, the relationship between these three big groups that they've established, which are Vanguard, Pulverizer, Skirmisher. Each one, they do 5% damage to each other. How do you feel about that part, Quenya?
Like, if we talk about the overall changes in the PvP after the damage changes, from my perspective, it's a little bit early to talk about. Because they just set everything according to the Neve setup. We don't have the Neo armor.
Okay.
I have full deck weapon. I shred people. I can feel the difference, definitely. But when people get additional setup or additional armors, when they just enhance them over pen, Hex, all of them, like in 5-6 months, then maybe we can say something like certain 100% say we can say we did lots of tats. But we can normally, like 5 months ago, we were saying that there was some kind of sweet point for evasion players. For example, over 1.3k evasion is just make the evasion as lost of stats. And for DR, go for DR, go for AP after that point. But right now, it's not easy to say something like that. But overall, the pet damage and other things, it just makes everything easier to balance. Because in before, if I'm not wrong, every class and their pets, they were sharing different stats, different things and other things. Now they just set everything, share the same stats with the character, the main character, your character, Sage and other classes. It will make every one of them easier to, balance. Yes, they're using the stats when you get Z buff or when you have, like, no matter what, 100% crit rate, pets they're actually dealing damage when you're fully buffed. But I think it has to be like that. Maybe we will feel like when we get full armor, we will feel like pet damage is gonna tickle you, like in old places, like in old times. We don't know. Also, they're like the last global lab, they just decrease the maximum DR crystals amount that you put in the stocks. So maybe, like, we just mentioned that many times in the podcast, and we know that before this podcast, like, thanks to the CM Zarka, he was asking me that, hey, with the new podcast report, send it to me so I can just send it to the PA. I think they just said what we said about the crystals. Maybe in future we can see more changes about the DR stack. DR stack is just killing the game. We all know that. They just find out some kind of special way to just fix the evasion stack. But now DR stack is a problem, and they're stacking DR with very cheap amount of silver, like 6 won or bone crystals, the down crystals, and they will improve it and they will get more HP, and we're getting lots of HP. The tankiness from the DR, first things first, they just did this week's global lab, and I think it will not fix the situation for like DR stacks. Even my Mystic and Striker friends, when they go utility build, they go full DR. But those classes are designed for pure evasion. They are evasion based, but they're going full DR because DR is working way better than them. Hopefully we see the changes about DR crystals in future. The down part. When you just, use 2 of them, you will get 100%. More than 2 of them, with some levels, you will start to lose the stats from the crystals. And at the end of the day, when you just, use 6 down crystals, it will be equal to 3 down crystals for the current state. Because,
I was thinking now that you're pointing the recent global lab, because they added the limitation to the smaller versions of DR crystals. Is it easy for them to just say, okay, you're allowed only to put on yourself like 3 or 2 maximum DR crystals? Do we like that idea?
Well, what they could do with that is that if you stack more than them, they just remove all your CCs in PvP. So you are only tanky, but you can't mass CC people constantly.
But like, how can you change Mystic if you just, Mystic, Berserker, Striker, all of these classes at least have 4 or 5 super armor CCs indicator. That's also making a problem. Like, they're being full tanky. Giga unkillable. They're like huge. Like Zerker has heals, Mystic has that PA every 1 minute or something, 40 seconds. I don't know. They just say wow, and they just and they just from 0 to 100 is just like in a second. They just recover the HP. Like they can be tanky. They can just give some other things, but like I said in other podcasts, too much protection, too much protected CC. If they want to be tanky, if they want to create some kind of mass, okay. But when they use any skill, they also apply CC. That's I think if they just let them stay in tanky, remove those CCs. That's what I'm thinking, or just remove their tankiness.
It's like one or the other.
Yeah.
But I think maybe we can agree with all the addition. Like one thing that I actually enjoyed with all the upgrades that they're gonna be coming with a new region is like the hand crystals weren't improved stat wise, but like HP wise. So that also give us room also with all other upgrades with the one that hasn't come yet, but the artifact ones that also are giving us more stats, offensive, and also a little bit more HP. I have this feeling that whenever we get all these upgrades and we get the current meta gear, the squishier people are gonna feel less oppressed by all these tanks, because the damage that they do is actually quite not like they're not gonna be able to kill us, which is something that I feel like we ask here in the podcast. That some striker or mystic that are running a lot of DR and a lot of defensive stats, they shouldn't be allowed to kill the squishier because they are deciding to go defensive. So if you're running defensive, you're not gonna be able to fully kill squishier, right? Because we are gonna be having more HP. Do we agree on this point?
That should be pretty. I think that would be a consequence of the new gear that we're getting in a very short span of time. But I just wanted to say something in regard of the crystal changes and DR stacking changes. I don't think we need to start already asking for like removal or nerf of the DR stacking on Kerset slots. I would like to see how the upcoming changes and the upcoming artifact upgrades are gonna impact things. Because as I mentioned before, DR works with a breakpoint system. So let's say you have 900 AP and your target has 900 DR, and now let's assume either your target loses 30 DR or you gain 30 AP. Your damage is basically gonna double. So a very small change can make a massive difference on a breakpoint system.
Okay. How do you feel about the crystal stacking and the changes that they've done, limiting the smaller versions of the art crystals, BP? Do you think is it arriving into a good spot? Is it gonna be healthy? Is it completely garbage state right now? How are you feeling about it? Because you said that you yourself are stacking some Jin DR crystals.
I mean, like when it comes to the gearing, I completely correct. Like a bit of AP that can make a big difference. I also think we are gonna get more AP. I talked about Verdana Part 2, right? There might also be new crystal upgrades coming with the 2 new castles, right? It might not just be the artifacts. But at the same time, like people are also going to upgrade the armor more and more, and there isn't more like raw AP to be getting in the game at the moment. So, I think it's also going to be a big shift in terms of gearing with evasion once people are on week 4. Like the power of the evasion stats are not going to be coming from more evasion, but you're going to get so much more, like 60 DR, right, with everything converted on an evasion build. So the amount of AP people can use needs to be more, but then that requires them to use less accuracy. So like we might see some viability on evasion builds in like 2 weeks time when everyone is running their 4.
Okay.
But yeah, like right now, I do feel like Tang is a bit more. I also think that the problem with the crystal stuff they're doing, which is fine, right? All those crystals they are stacking. But I don't think it's the full tank build that's too much of an issue. I mean, of course it is, right? But it's more of like these hybrid, super tanky builds that also have enough damage to like blow up any squishy and being almost unkillable if they get into the back line. There's like this balance point where they need to land.
Okay.
But maybe they're just gonna buff the that's another thing, right? Maybe they're just gonna buff the PvP damage. So as long as you can actually hit people, right, you can just blast.
And I'm
You still
gonna
have like
keep
those
with.
patches to come.
Yeah. Sorry. I'm
Oh, nice.
gonna throw you the next question, which is regarding they removed the resistances now in PvP. We've talked about everyone being protected, and they also did a lot of changes in the grabs department. How are we feeling about that? How do you feel the PvP without resistances, and how are you feeling about the grabs? Since obviously you are a grabbing class.
Yeah, like I'm extremely biased on this. I've actually been pretty much against resistant removal always. I used to, like back in the day, had some conversations with Heaton about this. Like, yeah, I'm not so sure removing resistance is the best idea, but I also play a warrior which has like gaps everywhere. And it's sort of like happening what I was predicting is that people play accordingly, right? You then, if you don't have resistance, you play more scared. You get CC'd more. Now everyone is asking for more protections, and it's just gonna warp into a super armor stacking meta. You already saw more classes getting more super armors because you get CC'd more. You don't want to be CC'd, so people complain about that. And then it's gonna be like 0% chance of CCing you instead of having like that 50% chance. I definitely think there's better ways to think about like not being able to resist if you're already CC'd. And for the grabs, I mean, like again, I think the grab nerf is good. I don't like the way they did it with the wind up. I love the indicator. But the problem is, of course, they've been turning some classes, again, warrior, into a grab bot. They've removed all the catches. They've removed 2 of our like CC catches. And they just turn us into a grab bot with a protected combo. And then they nuke the grab. Like warrior is the worst and most unfun it's ever been. So they need to like go back on a lot of stuff and do a lot of adjustments and all. So like I have no fun PvPing on Warrior right now, like at all. It's just not fun. I'd rather literally log out of video than PvP on Warrior.
No.
And I'm afraid they're just gonna make like a power creep with the protections, and we'll just see people being full super armor again.
Definitely, they have to look into Warrior a little bit more because I
Oh
feel
wait,
like
there's one more thing, right? With this,
sorry.
just a quick note. This is not like a class dependent thing, right? So I talked a bit about war, but fuck that, nobody cares. The problem, and this is something I noticed when I look back to like the old tournaments. The more you nerf something like a grab, the more people start playing around it. So back in the day when grab was 8 seconds, and I watched like the old warrior tournaments, people stayed in the fight. Like, you were in there, you were trying because it was only a couple seconds, your grab was going to be back up, you tried to land your catches, you had a handful of catches, and then, your grab is back up. So you just kept in the fight. It was way more action-packed. Whereas now, well, they nerfed it, so you have to, a lot of times, play even more around it. Like, I play way more defensive. I miss my grab, I'm just running away. Like, I can't stay in the fight, I have no catches anymore. I just have my grab. I have like 1 catch. I throw that out, then I run away from a cooldown. Because if I stay in, I'm just gonna get CC'd, right? So you end up playing like around the weakness now, and it's just so boring. It's so boring to play, but it's because it's effective, right? You have to play that way if you're playing to win in the fight, and it's so boring. So like, yeah, I hope they bring like some catches back to classes that were relying on grabs. It's always easy for the classes that didn't have, just land CC. Yeah, but if that's not in your toolkit, how are you gonna land a CC? If you don't, I got 1 CC catch. 1. That's on cooldown. Hey, what am I doing? I'm standing Q block. So literally turn us into the meme of just being Q block grab and then running away, man.
I definitely agree. Like, the game has evolved into either if you're fighting someone that is like, let's say, a normal player, maybe you're able to catch. But if you're fighting the real good people, you're not gonna be showing their gaps quite frequently. So it's either a matter of you one shot or you win the trade, or you are looking for that mini gap or grab potential, and if not, you're not looking for anything else, and it's just a little bit unfun from let's say PvP perspective. I don't know if everyone agrees on this.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Mm. Okay, and the last thing I want to touch about PvP, unless I'm missing something that is completely important, which obviously you guys can point out, it's shy. I don't know if we can agree onto this, but shy is still very important for PvP because the buffs are very important, but definitely the Misty Haze sort of not removal, but diminishing the impact in fights and the AP buff also being gone. A lot of people were asking for this to be a thing, but we are still in a tank meta and the Misty Haze is gone. How are we feeling about the shy situation right now, guys? We can start with Gwendia if you want.
Like shies, I think there should be more nerf. I don't know, but I don't want, like, if they just nerf it a little bit more, class can die. It's just stay in the thin line right now. It's just in the side of the be broken, and if just you nerf it again a little bit more, it will be broken. It will be dead because resist removals directly nerf for the resist increase in the buffs. And they also, if I'm not wrong, decrease the attack speed buff or something. Like there was some kind of nerf on it. It still feel like mandatory for the fights. What I like, what I dislike about shy is they just group up in front of everywhere. Like they just separates in the big fights. I'm talking about like the veteran guilds fighting in uncapped in the Nova or something. There are lots of shies, 10, 12, 15 shies in 100 people. And they just bongo. Bam, 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 bam. And that multi-hit CC not allowing you to play your game. They just remove that multi-hit CC from the game, isn't it? They removed it. But shy still has that multi-hit CC. You can't move.
Yeah, there's still classes with multi-disease.
But it's not like the old times. Not every hits of your, like, not like shy. What I hate from shy, from my perspective, when I just try to dive in, a shy just catch me, and you can't you die. There is no way you can just remove from that CC. 3 stiffen into each other for like 3 seconds, almost up to 3 seconds. You there, if not get someone just KD or something, or if you not just die while he's standing with a back attack or just a frontal attack or something. Like what I just would love to see, let's just reduce the cycle of that CC in that bongo. And let's give protection to shy while they buff people. Because it's some kind of problem. In the fight, they want to give buff to people, and it has some kind of long animation, or some kind of at least 2 seconds animation. And if the FPS is just low, maybe it's just being a little bit problem for them. Let's give super armor, linger super armor to the buffs, and also decrease the multi-hit CC from the bongo skills.
Okay.
That's what I'm thinking about shies.
I think Adex wants the attack speed buff to be untouched, so maybe he has a glimpse of actually getting the pentaproc on his awakening Dosa. But how do you feel about the situation of current shy?
Actually cannot really say too much about it, to be honest.
I
don't play around shies too often, or much at all. I mean, I do Nodewire, of course, but that's just a one-time thing when I'm playing with the shy. But it would be nice, yeah, something like what Quandaya said, where they add super armor on the buffs, but then remove the multi-hit CC. I think that would be a nice approach, because then you have like this constant buffing going on instead of like the mass CCing, where you cannot play the game. But it's a balancing problem, because some classes have like this insane amount of super armors they can use, while other classes are like very frontal guard heavy, and it's just not, that's a problem. And you mix a Shy in between that, and you're playing a class that doesn't have access to a lot of super armors. It creates like this unfairness in a way.
Yeah,
That's pretty much all I can say about it, really.
yeah. How do you feel about the current state of Shy BP? Do you like how they are right now? Are they approaching the class properly? They should do something different?
I have no idea, honestly. Like I've been wanting them to turn Shy into just a regular class that's an emphasis on party stuff, right? But yeah, like I get abused by Shies on Horror with all the gaps, right?
Yeah.
Like it just came up with a crazy idea, right? That's you're talking like with the classes with gaps unprotected, just way more vulnerable. How about we just give Shy, like instead of the bung, we just give it a charts up CC that's like pretty, like you can see it charts up so you can adjust. And it's just a freaking 360 AoE stun that ignores protections. Like actually like a stun grab 360.
Like the bosses do, basically.
Yeah, true. True.
Interesting.
Nah, like I don't know. Shy is a big problem in terms of balancing because it's a party focused, a support class. So either it's so good that it's needed and it becomes better and better the more people are there, or it's just useless, right?
Yeah.
So like I would just treat it a bit more like a normal class.
Sort of like what happened with Valkyrie and Witch Wizards. We haven't seen a meta with all those sort of more utility. I mean, PAs are still valuable, right? But we haven't gone back into a meta that really relies on those, I'd say. So yeah, let's not kill classes and actually balance them properly, which is a hard task, but we'll see. How do you feel about it, Archive? How do you feel like about the Shy state? Would you do something different to it?
Well, I wouldn't really do anything different about it. SBP said Shy is a purely support class. A class like that in group PvP, you're never going to make it not necessary unless it's completely trivial. So until the focus of Shy as a class design is to be purely support, is going to keep being like that. I do think the Misty nerf was necessary because it's never good. It's never fun to have to necessarily play around Misty for the fight to even progress. But at the same time, they did it in the worst possible time. Like Shy Misty was a band-aid to a bigger problem, and they removed Misty, but the problem is still mostly there. So yeah, it's not really a Shy problem. Well, it's a Shy design problem, but also a meta problem.
Okay. I see. And last but not least, so that everyone has an idea about PvP, if you are actually a newer player or someone that wants to set their foot on PvP, what classes are we suggesting to play? What classes are on the top of the pyramid? Archive, we can start with you.
Oh boy. Well, at the moment, if you want classes that are extremely good for PvP and also have a super low entry barrier, it would either have to be Succession Zerg or Deadeye. One is a extremely tanky CC buff, the other is an insane DPS. They both have a virtually non-existing skill floor. Like, I don't like seeing them around. Seeing classes that have low effort, high reward irks me, but if someone wants to get into the game and doesn't want to start by breaking their fingers, I guess that's the best option.
What do you feel like is the best PvP classes right now, BP?
Sorry, I missed that. Best what practice?
What are the best classes in your opinion for PvP? Like damage-wise, defensive-wise, utility-wise?
Oh my god.
What are your like top 5 classes for PvP?
I'm not allowed to say my guild is gonna hate me, but no for making mistakes.
Yeah, I agree. Those are still actually crazy.
Gauntlet is still like a minute. Kunos are crazy, Sorks crazy, and of course like Deadeye, right? Deadeye just uncatchable.
Yeah.
And Warrior, of course, Warrior is OP. Let's not forget.
Yeah. Please nerf Warrior even more, please.
Exactly. Like I just mainly do like open world PvP these days. Like it's been a while since we got 3M for Siege and Node Wall. So like I just like those are classes I run into in open world. Absolute menace. Mystics are just oh my lord. Oh yeah.
A couple of days ago, there was like a GVG between the top 2 guilds in EU. I feel like it was Insecure and Ace against Armbros. And if you watch some of them, of course, there were some niche classes, but most of them were running Mystics. Luke was on his Sorg. All these classes that you've mentioned were there, so yeah. It's a little bit of a nuisance meta right now, but yeah. Adex, what do you feel about the current meta PvP classes? Which are your callouts?
Oh, let's see. Awakening Mystic. I think Succession Assassin is also up there, especially for capped content. Succession Dosa is also pretty good if you play it properly. Just insane amounts of damage. What else do we have? Succession Berserker, of course. Gotta think. Oh, Succession Corsair. I hate Succession Corsair. Absolutely disgusting.
But do you feel like it's a strong class right now, or do you particularly think it's good state right now?
I think in what it provides, I think Succession Corsair is disgusting. Yes, it just shreds your frontal guard, and then you can say goodbye.
There's not many good Succession Corsairs left. At least in EU, is not. I feel like in the scenarios that I've seen, there's not a lot of them. But
yeah, that's true.
The utility with the heal and that meta that evolved whenever the Corsair was very popular, it was something. It can be an annoying meta, but I think it's not as a popular resource currently right now.
It's probably just my personal experience against the class as well. I'm talking about.
Might be. Maybe at some point Chicken Sun, which is a Succession Corsair main, maybe he can join on the podcast. But yeah, he could give us his inside opinion on the class state. But yeah, Quenya, how do you feel like PvP topics are right now?
Like for the newbies right now, I can say that Deadeye is a good option, and the Succession Mago is a good option for large scale. Like Succession Mago is definitely top 10 classes right now in the game. With all of those nerfs, no matter what people cry about the nerfs, Mago, it was OP, it was broken, it was unplayable against it when it first released. And the nerfs make her is a still good option, kind of strong option for the large scale, for the group PvP contents. But there's some kind of downsides. But the range option in the Succession Mago is Giga, and you can still use it for the large scale. And I'm seeing that people doing lots of good job with the Succession Mago at the large scale. For large scale, also newbies can choose Succession Ranger. Just find a good place for yourself and pew 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 pew. That's all you do. You have kind of acceptable kite mechanics, but overall, like we're talking about the newbie related things. As a melee class, newbie related, they can go for Suck Berserker. Yes, it's pretty easy for newbies. Like they'll be tanky, they'll just go in because people just rage you. You just roar and you just CC multiple people. You just roar and you will take no damage because you will stack 1000 DR with 2 billion silver maybe. I don't know. So these are good for newbies definitely. But overall, if we need to talk about the PvP current state, which class is strong, I have like approximately 10 classes in my mind, and when I just started to count them, everyone will just agree with me. Awakened Sage, those nerfs did almost nothing to that class. That class needs more nerf. I don't know, but I still feel same. I still feel like there's nothing I can do against Sage, and all my guild friends, they still think that. I talked with the RR from Mina server. He said, for me, I felt almost no difference. And Awakened Sage, like maybe the meta dogs, they just quit Sage, but it's still same. It's definitely still same for most of the players. We have no counterplate against Sage, and you're dying. Sage is just killing you slowly. And you have no options. Please nerf that class again. The other option is Hashashin both specs, especially Suck Hashashin. That damage needs to be front guarded or completely unprotected. There is no other class can just 1 or 2 skills you with render range. You can't even see Hashashin. Behind of you, bam bam, air attack burst, you dead. Literally, a full geared Hashashin can just one-shot 10 people at the same time. This is not cap or something. You guys have no idea. We have few Suck Hashashins in my Mina server. Like, if you see them, you're lucky because you can protect yourself. If you can see them, you're dead. And most of the time, you can see them. So Sakash, Awaken Hush, they needs nerf in PvP. I don't know how they nerf. I'm just pointing out that these classes needs to be nerfed. Like people should just, I don't know. I'm not the master. Or like even if you just master, our developers will not listen. But I'm just saying that these classes are broken. That Awaken Mystic, that utility, that protections, lots of these things, tankiness. You cannot have all of them at the same time. Healing and everything. If I'm not wrong, the PA is 40 seconds or something. That's fucking vacuum is 12 seconds and 2 seconds cast, and every 10 seconds you just put vacuum into the group. You're giga tanky because you have 25% super armor damage reduction. If I'm not wrong, you have 10 protected CC or something in total with pre-awakening. Like, what are you gonna do? If an awakening mystic, like if only way is to grab the class. That's all. That's all you can do. You can CC the Awakened Mystic. If the guy knows how to rotate the super armors, just do this. Put your hands to the keyboard. You will be in super armor. No worries. Everything is super armor in that class. Same shit, different color is Awakening Striker. Thanks that Awakening Striker has no Waku, but it has fucking AoE damage. Yeah, because of the clones. And you know what I realized? In tier 2 capped Node War, Awakening Striker's damage is enormous. So much damage. So much. They're just killing people while standing. I don't know where the damage comes from. Maybe from clones, the illusions or something. I don't know, but that needs to be nerfed. Or they should check it. Maybe there's some kind of problem. Like Striker needs nerf. Like all of these classes that I mentioned, most of them, the power comes from lots of protections and lots of protected CC. In Black Desert Online, we shouldn't have super armor and damage and CC. If you have if a skill has something, super armor, damage can be mediocre, but you cannot have CC in it, for example. Or maybe one super armor CC in the skill kit. That's all. Like, there are lots of classes, they only have one protected CC in their kit. That's all. You only have that. But there are also lots of classes in the game, they have 10 protected CC in their skill kit with pre-awakening and awakening or something. This is making the state is just like unplayable. If you're not like the top 10 classes in PvP right now, you're just chicken. You're Poyos, okay? Ready to eat those Poyos. You're literally, they can eat you alive. You can do nothing against them. You literally can do nothing against them. I'm playing one of the first PvP class in the game, Awakened Rock, used to be OP, and every day I said, nerf my class, and they nerfed it to the ground. Literally, I have one of the worst protected class in the game almost. Even Suck Ranger has more super armors than me as a huge Giga range class. And yeah, like for other classes, we talked about Mystic Striker, Suck Berserker, same, Giga Tanky, utility, lots of other things. Remove those CCs, or just remove protections from CCs, so they cannot just stay in the middle of the platoon. In 200 people, they spin, they spin, they won't die. They will use that super armor CC, one dash back, ancient wave with the front guard, one dash back, spin again. Like, what is this? Unacceptable. The another OP class, hidden OP class, Succession Dosa. That class needs nerf. That class needs nerf. I don't know what people think, but because of these classes that I mentioned in the beginning of the topic, like 5 classes, Suck Dosas are just staying in the shadow. But it doesn't mean that the class is OP. Sakdosa is just right behind them. All the meta dogs just following these classes. But if they nerf those top classes, Sakdosa will be the new meta. And that will be like another Sage. You guys have no idea that if the Sakdosa wants to stay in Super Armor, full Super Armor. That class has, right now after the grab nerfs, that RMB skill, after dash on lots of skills, it was like Cloud something the name. I can remember. It's now more Cloud Stomp or General. No,
Virga Shaft?
Virga, probably Virga. That's every 6 seconds KD, range KD or so. It's like it teleport you into people.
Okay.
Insta KD and very large large distance teleport into people with a kinda mediocre AoE KD. And there are also other CCs in the skill kit. Independent pet CC the class has the C skill. You just target your opponents. That pet is just teleport behind of you. For example, you just stand in front of your enemy and you press S. You think that you're safe because if your opponents try to CC you from front, no, you're not safe. He just press CC, pet just teleports behind you and you knock back. And after C, he just press RMB and bam, teleports nearby you. After that knockback and bam, you KD and you dead because you got 1.7. And he can do that to the group of people. I've just, experienced that many times. There are lots of goods and Sakdosa abuses in my server. What I'm saying that Sakdosa needs to be nerfed too in PvP because right behind of the meta right now, just tiny difference. From my perspective, kinda Awakening Lan needs nerf. That class skill kit is fully protected. If the Awakened Lan grabs you in the middle of the fight, let's say that there are 10 people, your friends, and Lan just land into the ground and he grabs you. No one can CC him except grab because class has fully protected 1 versus 1 combo. That is not real. It shouldn't be real from my perspective. What classes that I can just, like he said, Succession Corsair, but just after the resist removals, class just dead overall. Just grab Succession Corsair from my, there are few Corsair players that I'm talking, just grab it. There is no other thing. But maybe IDEX, I think IDEX said it. IDEX has no grab and Dosa, that's why he feel bad about it. But your team can just grab the Dosa, Corsair, and Corsair is totally fine. Let me just check it again. Like, Sack Sork is a problem in these days again. It's just more dangerous than... what was it? More dangerous. I'll talk about that. More dangerous than an Awakening Sork. Sack Sork is in different level right now. I'm just checking. We just talked about Shimeko, the Sork, the Legends Rip. What is Rip? I think someone just okay. Lansack, Sack Sork, and Deadeye. At the end of the Deadeye, I don't want to share this thing. I can just share it like this. This is the list I just talked with Shimeko few minutes ago before this podcast. So what is the problem of Deadeye? Protection. Again, we're talking like we're just going into the same place. Protection. God, please. I want 2019 BDR. If you're protected, you have to sacrifice something. If you want to get CC, you have to sacrifice with something. If you want to get some damage from the skill, you have to sacrifice something. You can only have one protected CC or you can only have one protected big damage skill. Not everything can be fully protected with CC and the big giga damage and everything. Deadeye needs to be nerfed with the protections. Remove those some super armors. Make them front guard so they have to use their brain. They constantly doing those things. Just spamming skills and every one of them is protected. And with low cooldowns of the Deadeye design, super armor protections. And they're just moving while they CC you and you're just dying slowly. Like with after the grab nerfs, all the mobile classes in the small territory or something, grabbing them is harder than before. It's just I'm trying to grab the Deadeye, but you can't because they're just moving around non-stop. You can't grab it, and you can CC it too because there is only way to CC someone in super armor is grab. You have to catch it, and if you can CC and if you can't grab, what am I gonna do against it? Nothing, literally nada. So these classes that I mentioned needs urgent nerf. Okay, they need urgent nerf.
Yep.
Okay, someone is
I
just
think
being toxic. Let's just ban that stupid.
I was gonna point out that in EU, all the Phantom players are just rolling onto the die, and it's just a little bit of oh, I'm here, boom, I'm dead immediately because their damage is actually kind of crazy. But yeah, I agree with all the, picks that everyone mentioned. In
Yeah,
here,
I'll
Yeah.
just like 2 cents on it. Like it's Quinny kind of touched on it, but it solved the problem with the making like the power creep that's been happening and the like defensive changes that have been happening over the years, right? And then you go and basically nuke grabs, right? That wind up makes it almost impossible to land on moving targets. And all these classes have been getting more and more super armor and protections, the one that are supposed to like be able to deal or survive grabs. So you nuke the grabs, but you still have all the movement, all the protections and everything. And now the counter to that, which was the grabs, is kind of down bad, right? So hopefully like they're gonna like scale that back. Or what I'm afraid of they're doing is just power creep and give even more super armor to everyone. But no, like definitely something has to happen, right?
I also just realized something. 2 days ago, I fought against Adana in the live stream, and many times it's quite hard to grab the Awaken Ninja, but it's Ninja, it's okay. 1 versus 1 class. I'm not complaining about that. When I grabbed the guy was just like standing in a T-pose, something like that, or some kind of animation. He was just stacking in it. I couldn't second CC, apply the second CC. He was just getting up. And people called it, that's a common grab bug. I just encountered with that many times while I'm fighting with Awakening Ninja in the stream. So after the grab changes, they, I think, break something. If you just, your grab success, most of the time it's not working properly and you can second CC the guy. I don't know why it's happening.
I think I might know why. Because
Why
you
is
have
it
that initial wind up, and maybe the game thinks you're already like grabbing the person, but he's moving away from you on his screen, and then the server translated like, oh, he's like grabbing, and you get him in the animation, but on the other side, the receiving end, he already moved away from you. Maybe there's like a delay with the wind up when you grab someone that causes a problem with the this sending and receiving.
Yeah, I like they
could be.
They nerfed grab, that's okay, and they just give a little bit super armor. It's still unprotected for a short period of time in the beginning of the grab animation, and then super armor, and then unprotected again if it fails. Okay, understandable, but why, like, grab was a counter for the super armor, non-stop super armor, because you just gave lots of super. BP also mentioned that. I also mentioned that. Super armor, everything. You just grab nerf, like full super armor rotation classes, it feels way better now. They're stronger now. The way they just balance right now in a game, yes, you just nerf the grab. Grab is not like perfect right now. It has delay, it has other things. And I don't know. Let's just reduce the super armors from the game. Let's just make every class like Awakened Draconian. We can see that who is just capable to play this fucking game. From my perspective, every class needs to be like Awakened Dracania. Limited super armors. If you want to CC someone, front guard or unprotected. If you want to deal damage to people, 1 super armor damage skill and mostly front guard or unprotected. Let's do that and see that who is just playing this game actually. Playing full SA classes is totally fine. Let's make all classes like that in 2018, 2019. All veterans will remember what I say. Let's just play the game like that. And it will be good. But PA will not do that because PA likes to suck early game players or noobs or talentless players cock. They can milk them. That's the way. It's a little bit too fucking based, but sometimes you need to be based.
You know what I think will happen if they would make that change? Is that because we don't have the CC resistance anymore, everybody's just gonna lay on the ground left and right.
I think people are not gonna like that. But, oh well. I want to do a quick question, more of a joke, but what class is worse, Awakening Dracania or Warrior? Awakening Warrior right now.
I mean, what were
you
you
guys
saying?
can start debating. What class is worse in PvP? Awakening Dracania or Awakening Warrior?
Drug probably. Probably drug.
Does
Because
PvE...
Warrior has protected CC from the core. They can use it, but drug has no. Only front guard you can have. And if you when you try to use it, you die. You know, like I'm having lots of time in Node Wars because I can easily die, and in that screen, I'm just in the it's just you're just waiting the timer for 30 seconds like that. I'm asking myself, well, how we can make this game better, how we can make this PP better, because when I die, I feel because of the stupid, unexpected, fully protected CCs or something. Like most of the time, people catching me, they don't even just expect them to catch me because they just throw skills and it's fucking working. They don't need to think. You don't need to use brain in these days to do PvP in the BDO. Like to reach, I'm not talking about top level of PvP, but just casual, basic level of PvP in BDO, you don't need to think. Most of the classes right now in the game, the top 10 classes that I mentioned, don't use your brain and rotate your skills. In Awakening Striker in PvP, if you use your PvE skills, you don't get CC'd most of the time, and you will CC people and you're gonna kill people. Please, PA. I don't know, like BP. What you think about Warrior? Please enlighten us. How much nerfs you need?
Is it worse than Awakening Dracania, or what's worse?
Like, do you want the real answer?
Yeah, of course. We're here for it.
A Warrior's useless, man. It's not even good at what it used to be good at. Like 1v1, it's Awakening Warrior is complete gaba. Saga's kind of cool. You can go like GIGABYTE and Saga, but no, like it's just unfun. I mean, you can win if you just keep checking people, right? Of course you can, but like you're literally not playing the game. You're on the ground 90% of the time, and then you try and land a grab. If you miss it, well, you got 15 seconds of not playing the game. Yeah, it's just unfun.
So what you guys heard? Yeah, sorry.
But the resist, right? It is the most unprotected class in the game. We have a weird bug. A lot of people don't know about. It's not even necessarily a bug. It's just the coding of the class. Every time you use an ability with LMB or RMB, it actually starts with an auto attack. So like while other classes, like obviously you can get CC'd in protections, but Warrior has like a hard coded unprotected gap with the start animation, the start frame of an auto attack on every single. And throw in double tick rate, right? Yeah, it's just cooked.
That is so bad.
Yep. A lot of people don't realize
Ouch.
that's like we have real gaps between our abilities. And this is why, by the way, lingering super armor existed back in the day. And so like it's so crazy they might potentially bring that back. But yeah, like it is what it is. When it comes to balance, is like my best advice to anyone: don't get too attached to your class. If there's like PA makes an amazing game, BDO is awesome, it's in a great shape all around. Balance will always just be garbage. It's like they purposefully just never see it through. They can make great changes and stuff halfway through. It's like, oh, we're done. Like, yo, wait, where's the other half? You're doing great. Like, no, we're done. And they could make like 10 patches in a row, and you just left there scratching your head. What's going on here? They can nail all the stuff. Balance. It's so bad, dude. It's so bad. It always is. Always will be. My best advice is literally just play a class you enjoy, and if you don't enjoy it because it's complete garbage, play something else.
You know what? I just they just stated that and they accept it. They accepted that they're bad about class balance. In the latest big devs node, they clearly said that our players are better than us about class tests, in-depth details, analysis, and everything. I know that Warrior community just sending lots of feedbacks. Drug community did lots of things, and there are other classes just did lots of things about the game. What they can do, what you can do, what we can do about the classes. And they said that, yes, you guys are amazing, you guys are just better than us, but don't worry, fuck your takes, we will do whatever we want. You're just actually saying that I am worse than you, but I am the owner, I will just make this game unbalanced on purpose. I don't know, like I can't handle this stupidity.
At the end of the day, we are all Savior main since 2014, right? So it's whatever. We will just play that class whenever it comes. It's promising, but yeah, let's move from the PvP for a bit. We know the game is not perfect at all in that sense, but let's move on to the PvE. A couple of things that I wanted to mention, which is the change that they did that after we reached the 310 AP, every AP is converted directly into the 8 AP against monsters, combined with the now every single spot in the game that it's upper than, what was it, 270, I think, AP. It's aggressive efficient, so you're not only going to specific spots to grind with your accuracy activated. How are you guys enjoying the eternal grind arc of our lives in video? How have these changes been affecting your experience in video? Archive, you can go.
Both positively and negatively. With the PvE changes, well, I'm not going to mention yet how it affects lower level players, because that's an entirely different issue. But from a personal experience, from what I can personally see, I think they did a pretty good job at making spots, the revenue from each spot, kind of approximately appropriate to the gear that players have while grinding that spot. Hexa was a bit of an outlier for a few weeks. Now it's a bit more normalized, but still extremely strong. But overall, the revenue from spots is really appropriate to the gear level needed to grind them. And that's something I like. That's something that I think was necessary to have, because it doesn't create situations where a higher level player is incentivized to go to, I don't know, Jade Starlight to make 3 billions an hour, or a lower level player can go at Dark Seekers and still make almost as much as a hardcap player. I think it was a really well designed thing. At the same time, it did take away variety, because right now, if I don't want to feel like I'm wasting my time, I am kind of forced to grind 2 or 3 spots. I don't have a lot of options. And that's something that, as a player who likes being able to vary his grinding experience, do not get burnt out. And I also enjoy the ability to, let's say, break the limits at spots that are designed for a much lower revenue. That is not possible anymore.
I see. I actually know that you were a Quint Hill enjoyer with the damage to species sort of thingy. How did you feel about? Does it narrow your possibilities of grinding, or do you think it's a good movement from PA to move all the community? If you have better gear, you're forced, if you want to make more money, to move to upper spots. How do you feel about that?
So I think it's good in terms of progression balance, like being able to give to each player the appropriate access to the appropriate tools for progression, for what he needs in that specific point in his gear progression. It's extremely good. They did a really good job overall. As I said, there were a few outliers, but they mostly fixed it. But it did restrict choices a lot. And at the same time, the fact that they hard capped spots at 5% also had a very funny effect that is both good and bad at the same time, which is, for years since the introduction of crystal presets, we were sort of forced to grind with the full PvE setups if we wanted to actually make money, if we wanted to actually be somewhat efficient at grinding spots. Because the grinding spots had a pretty high DR breakpoint, and they also had a very lenient AP cap. So the more you had, the better. Now you can grind with PvP gear, meaning you can go on Arsha, or you can play sort of red on normal servers while grinding. But at the same time, this means that you have enough gear that you can take out all your PvE items for a full PvP build. And the people that will be contesting you, which will be people with gear that is mostly appropriate for the spots, will not be able to contest you because their gear can't compete with yours. So it's a good thing and the bad thing at the same time. If AP caps were lower, for example, like they did with some Lukita spots except Darkseekers, that the gap between the DR breakpoint and the AP cap is very small. It means that pretty much everyone around that gear level can easily cap the spot. But in other spots, like, well, pretty much every other spot, you do need pretty much all your PvE set up if you want to have the AP for that spot. And if you have more, you can trade it for PvP gear, but if you don't, you won't be able to, and you won't be able to contest those people. That's pretty much about it.
Okay. Okay, 8X, how have you been enjoying the PvE so far? I saw the other day, well, maybe yesterday or 2 days ago, that you posted a new Quadra proc. Are you using that on your Orbita grind? How is it going?
Yeah, pretty much everywhere. It's been going really well, actually. Archive actually said mostly everything I wanted to say as well.
Okay.
Maybe if there's something else that I could add is that I kind of wish there were more spots available. I didn't expect there to only be 3 spots. I was hoping there to be at least 2 spots in every single part of the castle, because we have the hard cap now, and there's the lack of variety every time you go higher.
Yeah.
That's it, really.
With the additions of the Edania part 1.2, but
Hopefully.
how are you feeling about the Agri's efficiency that now
Great
you can
change.
efficiently...
Great change. Keep it up. That's
Amazing.
good.
Okay, that one we are like, I
But
think we can all agree.
they have to adjust the Dania region, because that takes a lot of agris compared to the other zones, from what I heard mostly.
Okay. Do you agree on that, BP? You're grinding right now, Orbita. Is it your agris burning, or
I burn my agris in no time. No, I love the change as well. Like, I've always been a person that never went out and actually used my agris anywhere. I've always been like it's not worth going somewhere that I don't want to. Like, I want to grind a spot, and if I want to grind that without agris, then I'll just use my agris there. Like, it is what it is. So, like, just actually getting more value out of it, it's great. I'll take it. But I think, like, for the most part, like, one of the questions we get asked all the time is like, where should I use my agris? Like, now being able to say just use it where you're grinding and actually being correct answer, that's great. So I'm very happy with that. Also, I do think, like, the caps, I like it. I think it's healthy for the game with the caps. It actually makes a new player explore the game more, grind more plays instead of go hung them until hard cap, right? That's not good. That's not fun for a new player. They do need to probably buff some of the spots so they're a bit more viable, especially on the progression path. And there's a couple of AP ranges where there just isn't any good spots, right? So there's a couple of changes where they need to probably buff some. It could be the Valencia spots, right, in around the Hex AP range, and there's some up between, like, until you get to Dokkaebi. It's a big gap as well. Like, just change 1 or 2 spots, close the gaps in those AP, and buff them up so they're viable. And then I think that the system works, especially long term. Yeah.
It's also great for balancing, because if you look at the trash numbers at Orbita, a lot of classes are very close to each other in terms of trash loot.
Yeah. Like, it's pretty much between 13 and 15k on any class you go here. Like, even Warrior, like, I'm just chilling. I'm doing like 13 or so. Like, it's very nice. Like, even the difference between the best and the worst is only, what, like 15%. Where normally it was up to like 50%. So they did do something really well with the balancing of Orbita, at least.
I can agree to that. Okay, Gwenya, how do you feel like the health of the PvE scenario is right now? And also, I want to do a question. This is for everyone, but I'll go first with Gwenya. Do you think that there's been a clear setup for PvE progression? So, like, newer players start here and slowly progress. Is it in a healthy way? Is PvE in a healthy state right now?
I can, answer that question with the classes maybe, because everyone is just asking, hey, Gwendia, I just started the game. Which class do you, recommend me to just start the game? with big AoE and easy and low APM classes, most of the time we will help you, like Sakmaegu, Awakening Witch, like Awakening Guardian or Sak Guardian, like Awakening Dosa. These type of classes will help them for early and mid game stage, especially like in old PA's old mindset was like separated and crowded spots, and all small AoE classes were feeling bad because of that. And an early and mid game stage you encounter with them, like Giant, Serendia Elvia, maybe some part of Kalfun Elvia, except Trolls, and I don't know, Jade Starlight is not like that, but kinda. Like in early game spots, every early game spots, they're same. So these type of kind of good with mobility, like Sakmaegu is perfect option for them. They can start with Sakmaegu in early game stage, and they can stay with Sakmaegu until maybe 700 gear score, without any doubt, because she's one of the best, or maybe she's by far the best. I don't know. So I think it's a good start, and after that point, they can maybe focus on something in the tier lists, not only mine. They can check out the tier list. They can talk with the content creators. They can ask to people like, and they should be clear, especially, hey, I have this. My goal is this. Which class do you recommend? And maybe they can give some idea to them. And gear build is, I don't know. Gear build is so straight right now. You don't need to think about, am I going to just DR evasion or something? Just go DR. When you just get the add-on armor, you will be evasion and DR both together. So no worries. For early game plays, for early game and mid game, you go DR setup. You go Urgon setup, I mean. Start with Urgon, change it into the Atorshu, the blue version. For gloves, same. I think these are good for the newbies and returnees. It's a good thing. And overall, what I'm thinking about PV. First things first, you asked about Agris. For like what I'm expecting, Agris can be some kind of like every day 1 hour Agris is free, some kind of like that. But right now, most of the spots, if you know how to do PV, like they just consumes like 25 to 30k. So it's not being like 1 day 1 hour so 1 day 1 hour Agris is free. It's like 1 day 0.7 hour Agris is free, something like that. So they can do some kind of adjustments, or they can do every day instead of 20k 30k Agris increase. Then it can be good in long term. So you can say that every day when I come from work, I will grind with 1 hour Agris without 1 hour without Agris. This can be good.
I would be good.
Yeah, like on the other hand, like overall PV, first sort of like I just heard lots of complaints about the cap and the cap changes, AP cap changes. Not directly cap, but the AP cap changes. People were complaining about for the troll a lot. They were saying that, hey, after season graduation, I was be able to grind a troll, but now I cannot grind. It requires lots of more AP than what I have right now. Yes, my dear friend, you shouldn't be able to grind a troll after you graduate from season. Troll's AP cap, the 920 AP cap, was belonged to 5 years ago's video or 4 years ago's video. It's coming from the ancient times of Black Desert Online, but now it is more balanced. This the spot by spot increase is just straight, and if you do some math, you will see it. We just saw it. Every step you just climb the ladders. And every spot you make slightly more money and you gain more AP because of your progression. Overall, it's good, but like BP said, there's some kind of big gaps in between some certain situations. They can just fix that place. They can just reconsider about the spots, and they can just readjust for some spots, and they can just close that gap for some place, like from 320, from 310 to 340 or something. So from 300 until Orzekia, that place is a little bit problem. You don't have lots of option, like in early game or like in an end game state. They can just, make some spots a little bit up or make some spots a little bit down, or they can maybe create new spots. So that can be good. On the other hand, like this is just bonus. Please give us proper and fun party spots. I know they won't do that at least a year, maybe 2 years. It's not in their plan, but maybe we can see. Who knows? The other thing is time-gated content. So they're just capping AP by 5% when you reach at some certain points. Even if you exceed the AP, you can reach beyond that with only you just nerfed by 95% of your value. It's okay, and they're just creating some kind of time gate to the content. And in the situations like Orbita or Orzekia, some classes, because of their broken DPS, they're just making significantly more trash loot than the average. And there is nothing you can do about that. It's not about gameplay. It's not about how talented the class is. We saw that 7 Titans suck Ninja today. And there is no other class can do that. Can go even close to that. So. The trash difference is not that much. People can think that, hey, from 15k trash to 16k trash, there is no big difference, Gwen. It's like 7% difference or so, 5%. Are like, no, it's not like that. It's way more than people think. So we were expecting from PA, and they also said same shit in the developer's note in the statement. Because of the latest PV changes, damage formula changes, and everything, the DPS difference in between classes was making a huge difference in the spots. Some were just like, they nerfed Awakening Witch, was perfect. It was perfect because the DPS was giga high. But what they did, they buffed Suck Witch, they buffed Suck Ninja, they buffed Suck DK. Like, I hate those type of stupidity. That's why I'm just saying that they are incompetent about class balance. They have no clue about that. Suck Ninja was already like S+. Suck Witch was already S+. They were already good classes. Instead of like, why you buffing them? Just don't touch them. Let them stay there as like top tier grinders. Don't touch them. Yes, high APM, something like that, blah blah. It's okay. If you want to play that class, yes, you play and you will get some good DPS and you will get top tier trash loot. Well done, but why are you buffing them? Now the gap between Suck Witch, Suck Ninja, and Suck DK, these are top classes right now. There is no way you can just reach their levels. No way. There is no other class. There are no other classes. And we said that. Like, they're saying that we are bad about class balancing, and we are saying that do this, do that, or something, and they're still doing whatever they want. I'm literally saying that like Suck Ninja is top tier classes right now. Suck Witch top tier. Suck DK top tier. There is no classes, no other classes can reach their trash loot or can reach their DPS after the changes. I don't know how hard are their classes. I don't care, but that DPS is unacceptable. We saw it with the Elmer Moss video today. 7 Titans in Orbita. There is no other class can do that. Maybe Suck Witch can do that with good ends. But no matter how good you are, yeah, maybe we can see. No, for example, Higa, BP, Archive, IDEX. No matter how good you are, like you're playing this game maybe more than Elmer Mole. I don't know. There is no solution to reach that level. And at the cap spot and the time gated spots, 10% difference is equal to 40-50% difference maybe in long term. In the stats, because normal mobs spawning like with it every 10 seconds, for example, but that DPS is enormous. They're killing the towers, bosses, and everything way faster than the other classes. And at the end of 1 hour, they're making for themselves 5-6 more minutes to grind. You cannot do that with your class. There is no way. But they are capable to do that. And I don't care about difficulty. This is not a reward for difficulty. Or do the same for the other classes, high APM and hard classes. So overall, I like the situation of PV, and we will see more spots in future, definitely. And I'm expecting some kind of mid-game spots from them, or mid to end game spots, like BP said, that the gap between spots are big. And also we will see Cartian's related Cartian spot, and we will see Kafra's spot. That's what I'm expecting. We will see that the same thing, especially, for example, they will be able to see that at the Kafra spot, lower AP than the hard cap players, and at some certain classes, Witch, Ninja, and others, you will see you will definitely see they will just outperform them even with the lower AP. Because as an hard cap player, I will be able to see reach the AP cap. But with lower AP, Sack Ninja, Sack Witch, Sack DK type of high DPS classes will just outperform me with lower AP. So if PA really want to bring something to the game, they should work with us. They should work with us. With me, with BP, with you, with the other guys. We're just testing this game for them, like for free, if they really want to. I mean, for PvE, overall, for the current state of the game, I can give 8 out of 10. There are classes still need some damage increase. They forgot completely, like Corsair, Valkyrie. There are classes like that. Awakened Warrior still needs DPS compared to, above average situation. They just buffed it, but they buffed Sack Warrior. But why? Sack Warrior was already okay. And Awakened Warrior, you just buffed Sack Warrior 5%, you buffed Awakened Warrior like 10%. The Awakened Warrior still just cannot reach the Sack Warrior level, for example. Or same for the other classes. They buffed Sack DK, but Awakened DK was just, struggling, not Sack DK. So they're incompetent. Because of their incompetent thing, I'm giving 8 out of 10 the current state of the PvE, not the content. Everything is just because of bad decisions comes from the developers. Otherwise, the current state, I really like it.
I think the newer spots are kind of, right now they're sort of new, so everyone is enjoying them. And yeah, okay, that's fine. Bicep is saying that he has to leave. So yeah, that's fine. Thank you for joining, man. We really appreciate you being here, and
It was
hope
fun
that
as
you
well.
enjoyed it.
Like about crazy discussions. So people go
like
wild.
we expected this podcast to be giga long because there's so much to talk. Now we will go into the Edania.
About because Sunday's the family time, right? So I end a bit early on Sunday.
All good.
Okay.
Don't worry, man.
Maybe
Enjoy
next
with
week.
family.
Well, maybe we can just stop at when we reach the life skill part and the remain part. Maybe next week,
sure,
PA can join the life skill because he really likes to do alchemy. And
sure.
He is the only one just doing the Imperial delivery for alchemy.
Not gonna lie. I am doing it. All the talks with the life skill, I'm doing it. I swear to God, I'm doing the Imperial alchemy stuff. I swear to God. I am doing all my Imperials daily. I'm a pure invested, good video player trying to enjoy all the aspects of the game that has to offer.
Okay.
So, yeah.
I'll try to call IDEX from Twitch. IDEX, can you just accept that call? I'm trying to do that, but it's not working.
I'll try.
You try to call me, maybe?
Let's see, where are you?
Because we can share the chat and everything.
Oh, you mean like that? Okay. Yeah.
Which browser you use?
I'm using Edge.
Edge is not allowing to do that. Never mind. Just we can fix it next week, okay?
Yeah, we can do that.
Okay. Never mind. Let's go.
Sounds like a plan.
Okay, Higa.
Okay, we can. So you want to skip the sort of life skill part until we get
not
someone...
skip. We will just go for next week, if possible.
Okay.
Next podcast because there are lots of things to talk about.
Okay. We can go... Oh, we forgot one. Let's do a quick shout out to this feature. We were talking about PvE. Have you guys heard or seen anyone get a treasure item from the Alan Surfing feature that was just recently introduced? Wait, what? What did you get?
Yeah, in the first day when we get this, before people start to use that bug, we didn't know what bug. In the first 5 minutes, I got Elton piece, and I used, and for this game, I'm playing this game more than 7 years, maybe. In 2.5k hours, I spent to get that Elton piece. I didn't get it.
And you got it?
In the first 5 minutes, I got Elton piece.
Oh.
And
bro.
In this account...
Why don't you play the lottery, man?
Like, I
You
don't
get
know. I
the
don't know.
deck weapon one tap, you get the Elton piece? Come on.
No,
Just
no, no,
go
like,
buy the lottery and get rich. I don't know.
no. Like, no need. My reach. I mean, I won because I'm with this community. Okay. I can maybe
Okay,
just
okay.
keep calling
You
people
can be
like
the
that.
humble man. Sure. Okay. I haven't tested it myself. I couldn't get my hands into the grinding this week, but I will definitely try it. Did you guys got anything good from the Alan Serving guys? Archive and ADEX?
It got disabled. We didn't even get to use it on EU.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, it disabled.
I didn't
Overall,
know
and
that.
everywhere it disabled. That day at nighttime approximately or evening time, they understand that there's some kind of bug, and they just disabled it.
And maybe they just get your Elton piece because of that?
No, it's not about bug. Was different. Bug is just refreshing your points when you change character.
Ah, okay.
So it's
Okay,
infinite.
okay. I see.
For example, right now in the first day before they just turn it off, my points right now in the game, I can show it right now in game like this. Here, for example, it's 4.5k. I didn't do how to do that refresh thing, but people were able to refresh that thing to the 10k if I'm not wrong. And they were just doing infinitely.
Oh, I see. Okay.
And mine is still 4.5k. So I didn't do that bug. I'm clean.
Okay. I didn't know. You got your Elton piece on a very legal way. Let's just say that.
Yeah, it's legal. It's
Okay,
legal.
okay.
Like CM Zarka was on chat. How can I just do some kind of cheat or something? He can just destroy me. He already just ready to just send me to jail. And thanks God that when I just one tap my Oct and my deck, he wasn't at Gamescom. He was on some kind of trip. He would just send me to. There was no way that he would just ban me for one day from the game. He would do that. Like thanks God that he wasn't in chat.
Oh my God! I still have clear images of you doing that, and it was actually incredible. I don't know. But yeah. How about we directly jump into the hot topic into the Adania expansion? I think everyone is just doing that content right now. First off, I want to start with if you had to give a quick mark from 0 to 10 in all aspects, the main quest, the boss fights, the cinematics, the scenario like the landscape and all that, everything that has to do with Adania, if you have to give it a mark out of 10, what would it be? Archive.
I would probably give it 8.5. The content itself is good. Maybe they put a little bit not enough challenge in the boss fights themselves, and maybe they gated the first spot. I'm not talking about the second and third, just the first spot at a bit too high of a threshold. There is a bit of a disconnection between the pieces of gear that you have to drop, especially the Adania damage crystals. Like they're a bit. They didn't think them through really well. Like once you have lower level crystals, you can't upgrade them, or you can't exchange them for higher level crystals, or you can't sell them. They didn't really think it a lot. Well, other than minor things that could be fixed and tweaked very, very easily. I have to say, even counting a art direction kind of deal from the geography of the region, the music, the I have to say the update is really good. They put a lot of effort into it. They really went all out.
Okay. ADEX?
A solid 8 out of 10. Story is good. There's a lot of items to chase for. I'd say the only downsides for me is that there's still some bugs, like or the Orbita bug, for example, which is quite annoying. Both the ticket realm and just the normal servers both can bug out. The Edana War, I feel there's something they gotta fix about that. They should not have structures in the zone where you're fighting other people. It's not good. You should just have a circle that closes slowly, and then everybody has to fight each other instead of hiding in a corner. I like the landscape a lot. It looks great.
Yeah.
It's nice.
Orbita for me is like amazing. It's just like the end of the world, all the spikes in the landscape and the change of color. You guys know how much video players complained about the Elvia, and the Elvia changed of colors, that it was like kind of, foggy, sort of grayish, but also yellowish, that nobody liked. I think on Orbita it's just amazing. It's like a constant sunlight, that it's like the end of the world. I don't know. I just love it. It's just something different. But yeah, what do you think? Can you give it a rating or mark, Quenya?
Like, before I just talk about that, I want to just also ask it to the chat. Chat, what you think from out of 10, okay? The same question for you. What you think about Edania? The landscape, the terrain, everything, the main quest line, sports and everything. How would you rate Edania? I know we didn't get the entire patch, but until this point, how would you rate it? Out of 10, okay? Just type it in chat so YouTube also can see it, what people think. And if there is some kind of... Wait, can you, like, Reza, can you just create some kind of poll for that? So people can also rate that poll? Can you do that? Let's just ask it to Reza. If Reza says yes, I'll just... Reza is just pointing it out. Reza is just giving rate instead of...
He's just giving a 9 out of 10.
Okay, let's just go. So, like, I'm just seeing that people giving over 7. Yeah. I didn't see 6.
He's grinding in Orbita.
You're grinding or... Okay, Reza, take your time. So, from my perspective, I will talk about the graphics first. I don't know what they used. The texture, I also mentioned that in one of my video. It was like Kafras 3 SAP rotation or Kafras 3 rotation or something. And if you guys really wondered that how it looks in 4K in Ultra, go watch that video, but you have to watch it in 4K TV or 4K monitor to understand it. 4K OLED monitor or 4K OLED TV, go watch it, go check that video. You guys understand what I'm saying. From my perspective, the texture, the terrain, everything is completely different than normal video. From the normal continents, probably they used something different. The details and everything looks completely different. The trees, rocks, the terrain of this soil, everything is different. The rocks, there's mountains. And also you mentioned about the lights change in between territories. At Serendia Elvia, it was foggy, isn't it? It was looking a little bit different.
People were complaining so much about that.
You I want to just throw up when I just go in the Serendia Elvia in before. It was just like, now it's so clean. You definitely see different lights, different effects around you, but it's extremely clean. And it's good. So overall, the graphic wise, I'm giving like 10 out of 10. Everything is good. Like maybe 9.5 and a 10 out of 10. With this old game, those graphics, they're amazing. They definitely did good. The main quest line, except one point, as a content creator, I will complain my entire time for that. I don't know who's responsible of the in-game musics. In one part of, if you want to just upload video, the main quest line, it's for everyone, if you're listening this. There is one place before you just depart from the harbor, like in the beginning of the main quest line, the game is just showing you your past. You fight at Balanos, Serendia, Scalfion, step by step, in every stages, and they're like 2-3 minutes of some kind of cinematic, okay, independent than you. There's some kind of music, and its music is copyrighted. It just destroyed my ass, and I just probably lost like $62 or something because of that. Thank you, but I don't know who is just fired that guy. You cannot put just copyrighted music in a game. It just cost me a lot, and but overall, the main quest line and everything, until the the latest. I think it was Nymphomare. Probably it was Nymphomare. Like the Hashashin. There was like Hashashin just talking so much, irritating or something. That part was a little bit irritating, but you cannot judge people, you know. And also, which part was irritating for me? When you start to talk about the, you know, there was an NPC trying to explain you a story, but he was talking slow and irritating. The Naga, the cute Naga. I can give to the main quest line 9 out of 10. The PV spots and Adana thing, they are overall very nice, and I can give around 9 out of 10 too to them. Like overall, I'm giving 9.5 out of 10 to the new content as a content creator. You guys are consuming content, you know, as normal player, but as a content creator, our perspective is like it's different than normal players. That's why like we're being most of the time optimistic or positive about the things, because we are seeing lots of things. You are maybe a newbie, you're just taking it from your perspective. Maybe the other guy is just mid-game player from his perspective. But we are content creators, and we're just looking at trying to look at least from every perspective. And from every perspective, if I try to look at that, it's over 9 out of 10 is my Adania point, and I really liked it. And there will be more things in future.
Yep, I definitely agree. In my case, I think the landscape looks super good. The main quest, even though I press start all the time, but I watched it while you were doing it. I think especially I've played Valkyrie at some of my video history, and the history in itself was kind of catchy. I actually enjoyed a lot the Alien and Slar kind of backstory. So yeah, for me the story was also kind of nice. The grind spots, although I must accept that I've only done so far Orbita, I think it's kind of good. I think maybe there has to be some tweaks so that all the classes can achieve the same, you know, trash loose values. I think the crystals that Archive mentioned that are a little bit disconnected, like the lower versions, somehow they should connect to the better versions of it. I don't know, maybe make an easy convertible, like an NPC can just exchange one crystal to the other, not like directly, right? But some of the PT pieces can be converted out of the older version. And other than that, I think at some point the grind arc is a little bit overwhelming because of the need of all these new materials. You need a lot to get all your stuff done. But as you mentioned at one point, we're gonna have to sit in this region and grind until we get something new until December. So enjoy the ride, and everyone don't get exhausted. And yes, just enjoy the scenario. Maybe try something different, because I've heard that the sapping on the new area for the new sap and the Kafra essence to transform the perfume is also pretty nice. That you have a lot of stuff to do to get the life skill gear that we on some other episode we can try to debate with some of the life skill experts, and maybe with Bicep that he also does some of that content. But yeah, overall for me it's like a solid 8.5, 9 out of 10 as an overall general good idea. The one thing that I'm gonna use this as a hook or a link in connection that I would love to see changes is the Adana tournament. I think, especially in EU, there's been a big controversy regarding these bosses. You guys know that 3 bosses were introduced: Jordine, Rusalka, and Enslar. And each boss has 10 participants. The format has been explained a million of times, but basically TLDR, on the highest demanding gear-wise tournament in EU Orbita, there was a player whose name is Leduc, who, let's just say, did hide on a high terrain that nobody could see him, and because of the gear stats and situation, he immediately got the win. There's been a lot of debate whether that was on PA's fault because of not knowing how to, address that situation and not noticing that could be, a shenanigan, a mechanic. Some people say it's on the player side. There's been a multiple opinions around the topic, but we can try to bring some light into it. If you guys want, Archive, you can give your opinion on the boss's sort of content.
Well, at the baseline, it's a good concept, concept content. It's executed really poorly, though. Like the fact that it's not like you're allowed or encouraged. Like nothing in the format of the content suggests that you should do it. But the fact that how they made the arena and how they developed the shrinking of the arena throughout the fight, it still allows you to do that, and it's an option somehow. It's just wrong, and that's a massive flaw from PA side. They did a really big mistake. You can't really fault the player for doing it if it was a bag chaser. A bag chaser is going to go for the bag. Clearly, someone who claims to be someone who chases PvP is going to go for the PvP. But yeah, smart people who are going to go for the win and they don't care about the fight, they're going to go for the win using all tools given to them, even unintended methods. And that's just something PA needs to fix.
Okay. Edex, how do you feel about this sort of boss kind of scenarios? Do you like the fights? What do you think about the tournaments?
I can't really say too much about. I mean, I haven't done it myself yet. I'm a gearlet now, but they should remove the structures in the arena. They should just make it so it forces you to fight instead of having the option to wait it out and hide yourself. Because you are in that top percentage of geared players, you should just go for it. And if you don't get it, you try again next week. I like the idea of the Edana, because if I, for example, would be Edana, what I would do is I would pop the buff, and then I would start killing people everywhere, or try to harass their grind zone, so I force them into the realm to get my money. And that's it, really.
Okay. And how have you guys found the difficulty on the boss fight in itself?
It's too easy.
Too easy. Extremely easy. Well, the mechanics are cool. They are well thought compared to the Black Shrine solo fights, especially compared to Big King and Gumio. But even though the boss fight is cool, it doesn't one-shot you with everything it does. The mechanics that are actually supposed to have some, those boss fights in games, especially in MMOs, where you have to clear the mechanics or you get wiped or you get severely punished. In the Edania bosses, even those mechanics are really not that punishing. Like, I'm going to make an example. I was watching a guildie do Enslar. In the second phase, there's a mechanic where you have to kill the mobs on all the 4 pillars to interrupt the mechanic. And while Enslar was doing the mechanic, it took us something like 3 minutes to figure it out, and it still wasn't failing. Or during Rusalka, she has a mechanic where she summons some totems, some items that you need to destroy.
With eyes, right? Yeah,
you need to destroy some of them, but you have and the ones that you're not supposed to destroy have a DP buff, making them a lot harder to kill. But the mechanic takes so long to go off that you have time to kill all of them, even the one with the DP buff. You can just completely go damage without brain, not know what you're doing, and you're still gonna be able to clear the boss fight. I like that the normal attacks, the one that will deal damage to you throughout the fight from just normal attack patterns, are well telegraphed. That's personally, I think that's a good thing. You should not get hit by something that you didn't even have any way of knowing that it was coming to you. I do think that those telegraphs are a bit too forgiving, but that might not be the case for every player. Some people might appreciate it. But I do think that the mechanics that have like a condition, a success condition, basing on you clearing the mechanic itself, they shouldn't be that forgiving.
I see. Yeah. I mean, from my perspective, the boss fight in itself is like super cool. Some people, I was reading some of the chats from Wenya and stuff, that actual classes should look like that. Like they actually look very nice. Like specifically for Rusalka and some of the skills that she had, maybe they could have dropped some of them for the actual Corsair, right? But yeah, what do you think about the tournaments and the boss content, Gwenya? Have you been enjoying it? Did you manage to get to the Orbita, the Enslar fight? What happened in your case?
Yeah, for the bosses, I can say as a veteran, they're easy. For me, very easy. But they also mentioned that before these patches arrive, they said the bosses will not just be hard, they will not be burden for people. You have to do that. Of course, you have to do that, but you just do that. You just take your time. It will not force you to do some certain hard mechanics. Like every boss has like 1 or 2 interesting mechanics. They're not hard to do. Just know them and do. And the main part is just iframe and DPS. Iframe and DPS. Is it hard? Is it bad for me? It's totally fine for me. Like, because they mentioned that. They didn't just say, we'll make them hard and they just gave us an easy. No. They said it will be easy and they're easy. For the tournament, it's definitely PA's fault. They should think about that. There will be abuse. But it can be. They're just creating lots of contents. They're just busy with lots of things. They can just miss some parts. It's totally fine. In depth, we all know that they're not playing this game. And they cannot catch every point in the game that people can abuse. So people from Asia, Ladakh from EU, they just hide and nobody saw them and they just won. That's what happened. So I don't know, like they can add some kind of activation point that force you to fight in it. You have to hit people at least 100 hits, or like you need to win the fight. At least 100 multipliers needs to hit someone, or just directly make the place completely, flat surface, no place to hide, and everyone will see each other before they start, and no one can just hide. Simple. Or make the place is just again flat, add some kind of objects in it, but there will be no way to just hide from people, so people can see you even if you lay down. So it's PA's fault, definitely, and it's not a big deal. And the first week, people ask me, "Did you just join the Adana thing?" I did, but I didn't see the Hashashin symbol in my screen. It didn't even just take me in. So with my gear, I should be able to go there, but maybe a bug happened. Something happened. I don't know. But I'm sure that this week I will join, and probably in few hours, soon probably we'll just off it, but I'll just make some kind of, every 2 months I do special Turkish stream. In that stream, I'll try to just show what's going on in that tournament thing. Yeah, hopefully if game just get me in, I don't know, maybe it just creates another bug again.
Yeah, I was wondering because I didn't hear anything related to the Mina server Orbita. So I guess the tournament in itself went well without any inconveniences as in EU. So let's
No
just
one
call
just
it. It
escaped.
was a normal win. Let's just say,
And
let's
it was
just call
normal
it
one,
like
yeah,
that.
yeah. But I've heard from people from Santorini, and it's completely illegal. I have to say that for EU, NA, and other servers too. If they will probably check that thing in a different servers too. It's same like I don't know Farsha tournament. If you let someone plays your character in that tournament, you may get banned. In Arena of Russia, people get banned because of that. Because people put boosters in their accounts, they get banned for 2 weeks, a month, or something. Maybe permaban, I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Just a warning for people: if you just go in a Dana tournament in future, play yourself. Lose, but lose by yourself. Like, don't let someone win the tournament for you. Okay, you may get banned because of that. It's directly boosting, and it's not okay.
It's a tricky situation, right? Because how can you... It's a system that totally depends on the doings of human beings, right? So there has to be a system, or it has to be something that actually enforces people to obtain the winning condition in a, let's call it, a more vanilla sort of way. Some people were actually thinking about the amount of CCs they landed, the amount of kills they would get, so that in that way, the win condition was moved from the last survivor into more of the one that does better. So I don't know. There could be something leading towards it. But what about the system in itself? Do you guys think that enough people can reach this? Should it be this limited? Should more people be allowed to participate in this mode? What are your thoughts on this?
It's okay for me, I have to say that. Because we were expecting from PA that there should be meaning to have higher gear, isn't it? Now it has meaning. To become a Dana, you need gear first. And with RNG, maybe you can join it with like top 7 players, and 3 of them is just chosen by RNG from the approvals. And like, if you want to be there, you need to be top gear. Like, it has to be limited. If you just make it for like top 30 players, that can make some kind of, a little bit flexible situation. 7 is okay for me. I don't know what people think.
Archive?
Personally, I think there's already a barrier of entry to like obtain the token itself for the fight. Any requirement beyond that is kind of irrelevant. Like, it doesn't need to be the 7 top geared players that have the token. The entry for the token itself already exists that locks people behind getting that gear to access the fight.
Yeah.
Giving access almost only exclusively to the top 7 players makes it so if you're not one of those 7 players that does, let's say, Rusalka or Encelar weekly, you will almost never have a chance to participate, even though you have the requirements for it.
It's valid for right now, but future there will be lots of people able to kill Rusalka and Encelar and some other things, and if they just remove the some rules or prerequisites, there will be no competition. It will turn into some kind of kill Rusalka, go in. Hundreds of people will there.
Yeah, I see Quandia's point at the same time. Like, right now I see Archive's point, but if we think in, like, let's just say 1 year ahead of us, it would lose the purpose, right? So I see also Quandia's point.
That makes sense, but maybe making it a 50-50 split would be more appropriate.
Yeah.
Like right now, even right now, not that many people have access to it in the grand scheme of things, in the player base. And still, even then, with that few people, those 3 RNG slots are way too few. Your chances of getting in are extremely low. I would argue it's probably lower than getting the jackpot at Big Cave back in the day when it was overcrowded. It's
yeah, because there's like thousands of players, and there's only 10 people that can participate in it.
Yeah, maybe a 50-50 split would be more appropriate to balance for both sides. Because yeah, I do agree with Kundai. In 1 year, there would be literally thousands and thousands of people applying, and then it wouldn't matter. But yeah, like having only 3 slots for all the people that have access, it kind of trivializes it. There's no point.
8X?
I don't have much more to add again. Everybody's
You
just
agree?
saying what I'm thinking.
Okay.
But someone in my chat said they would love to actually spectate the fight when it's going to
True.
start.
Oh, that's true.
So having the ability to actually
Yeah.
see and spectate the Adana
That's
fight.
a good point. Because unless people that is inside the fight actually streams the fight, nobody really
there's no other way to see it.
No.
Maybe
Yeah.
they can bring the AOS record system, same system, every week from for like last 6 months. All records can be held in one UI in game. You will be able to just download that thing and just watch it right in game. You can change the camera angles, it depends the participants and everything, like in AOS record.
Yeah.
Because it's not
in
like
general, I
AOS.
think it's a nice addition.
There's no like hundreds of AOS records. There will be only like every week 3 different records or 5 different records for PvP for the 10 people in the deathmatch, and there will be like 5 more records for the 1 versus 1 with Adana and the winner of the 10 people. So in total, 10 records every week is literally nothing. It's nada.
It could be very doable. It's not like a heavy load of, file size or whatever. But yeah.
Yes.
Last thing that I wanted to talk about Adania, although I don't think I'm not missing much, although I know that we are purposely missing on more of the life skill part, but we will talk about it in a future episode. I would like to talk about the becoming Adana benefits. I've heard from the EU side that you get like flat 8 billion, if I'm not mistaken, and the taxes from people going into the realm, Marnie's realm, is not that big, so it's not like that actually worth it. Should it be more because it's like a big thing? Should it be comparable to, like, I don't know, the pig cave loot value, sort of? How much should it be rewarded to the winner?
That's a good question, but I think it should definitely be a lot more. In the sense that I think, if I'm not wrong, you get 200k per person that enters the realm, and it would be nice if they like bumped that all the way up to like 8 million or something.
Per person?
Yeah, per person.
Or
because
you can make 100 billion from it like that. It's too much.
8 million would be a bit too much.
Yeah, maybe a bit too much, but I'm just saying that it should be worth it, because you're only Adana for a week.
Yeah, maybe 1 million per ticket. Because right now, like I was reading some reports, I think that someone got from Ladakh, and he's getting an average of 200 millions per day, or approximately that. That would be
that's
about
not enough. It should be
1.4
more.
billion.
It should be way more.
Yeah, that means 1.4 billions per week. If you get 40 times as much, that's what, or like 60 billion.
Okay. Make it 10 times as much. That you get like 10 billion or something, or 15 billion.
Yeah, that's more appropriate.
Yeah, like it definitely needs to be high, but we also just missing this part. You're becoming Adana, and you're always 400 as a drop rate. So you can grind and just you can drain all about the high drop rate in that server, in any server. And also the other side, becoming Adana is not only for PvE, it's also for PvP. You can just hunt people, you can do whatever you want. It's your land. They should definitely increase the income. I'm not saying it's okay, but they shouldn't also make it like very high. 8 billion flat for Orbita is 8 billion, I think. The other ones are lower, and probably the other spots will be higher. I'm expecting Kafras will be like 20 bill maybe. Flats, and then the additional things And also we have to reconsider right now, there are not so lot, maybe like 5% of the game is capable to grind at Orbita. Not every one of them, not the most part of them. So
I did see a lot of people grind Orbita, to my disbelief at first. Like all the spots are always taken. I'm like, I thought I had a lot of gear, but suddenly, you know, on the EU at least.
so
On EU,
You
I feel like
have
we
no
are
idea.
underestimating the amount of people that have the gear.
Yeah.
What were you
I
gonna
thought
say,
it would be
Archive? Sorry.
less.
You have no idea how many PvE gear lords go there. Like, you have to keep in mind, the only reason Orzeka wasn't back in the day before all the PvE changes wasn't as crowded as Orbita is now was because the mobs dealt even more damage.
Yeah, they did a
and
lot of damage. Yes, true.
the PvE gear lords didn't want to die as much. But then after they did the PvE changes, finding a spot in Orzeka was basically impossible. And
true.
we have the same situation at Orbita now.
So they can increase definitely the income per ticket. It's quite low. And I don't know, they can maybe add some different things. They can maybe give to the Adana the armor upgrade things. For example, every every 500 tickets, one armor enhancement material like that. So that things will force Adana that, hey, you just go
PvP.
there, kill people. You just force them to go into the and how much you force people to go into money, you will reward it by additional armor enhancement material.
Yeah, I feel like right now it's just such something related to how of a ruler, how of a king you are. If you just sort of just let it be and let people grind, which I think has been the situation in EU. I don't know other regions, but right now it's just let up in the buff. People are just, if they don't have a spot, they just go into the Marnie realm, and there has not been any sort of conflicts around that I know. But yeah, forcing the Adana to actually like just do PvP, or I don't know, maybe they could add, I don't know, the new upgrades, items. Depending on the amount of people that you kill, you get a counter like in the missions that pop up on the top right of your corner, and if you get to 500 kills, you get, I don't know, 10 crystallized Haras or whatever, something
Would
like
be
that.
nice for Adana special quests.
Like a Dana special quest, if you kill 100 people, you get 10 crystallized thingies. It could be cool.
Daily quests would be nice.
Yeah.
Because while you're killing people or forcing people to go into the money, you can't grind. So PvP will be especially for Adana specific. Adana, while he's doing PvP, he will also get some additional rewards like in PV. Not the trash loot, but maybe side drops.
No. I don't know, something like that. Because I think everyone agreed that it's a little bit low what the Adana gets for actually achieving something that on paper is super big, right?
And also difficult to get into.
Yeah, and that's, I think, just to end up things, unless you guys consider there's something that we're leaving behind or that should be talked about. I think one of the biggest deals on why there was such a problematic and controversial thing in EU with the Edana is just such a concept that PA overhyped so much, and on paper is such a big thing, that the fact that this person did it in this way, whether it was correct or PA's fault, it's just, it should be, you know, this big thing. Whenever they announced this region, I just wanted to become the demon lord of a region and just rule and be powerful and feel nice and go into places and people valuing you. And undervaluing this and behaving in this way sort of killed that sentiment. I don't know if you guys get what I said. Like,
I think this is mainly a problem PvP wise, because PvP was never really like so rewarding in this game.
Yeah, it's like, it's something so big, and I don't want to use heavy or negative words onto it, but sort of disrespecting it in a way and devaluing the procedure and the system and something that could be so cool, even though it could be cooler from the design concept, but the way he behaved around it, I think it's what it made it so controversial and everyone had so different opinions. But yeah, I don't know what you guys think about this.
I mean, yeah, that's why people are so outraged and they're talking about it so much, me included. It kills the spirit of PvP. You're going into a fight that is meant to put people against each other, and in a contest of gear, skill, class, having direct interaction between the participants, and you turn it into a hide and seek competition. That's the whole problem. But at the same time, as I said, in any sort of situation where you have a reward, if someone cares more about the reward than the fight, they will go for the reward. At that point, you have to make sure you design it in a way that you can't do it.
What do you think, Gwenya?
I mean,
Because
I
obviously
get the-
you just listen to it in the back, but imagine this happened in MENA. How would you feel?
May you please just ask it again?
So the way things happened and the value of becoming an Adana was so hyped and it had so much value for a lot of players that the way it happened in EU, it felt bad for a lot of people, such as like let's just say it felt like it disrespected and they are actually attacking the player in itself. How do you think, how would you feel if this same thing happened in MENA?
Like, people would just, probably just, laugh at him. People just like, just don't care and just laugh at him. Like, hey, you are the Adana who just won the tournament with some kind of cheat or trick or some exploit or something. You're the guy, you think that you're good or something. They can even just be turned into something. You can say, hey, go fuck yourself. I don't fucking care. Like, how good, if you're Adana, you're not. They can even call this, you're not my Adana or something, They generally don't care about these things. Like, but if you just win it with your own thing, with your own effort, people would respect you. So, yeah.
And Adex?
Oh.
Yeah, go.
No,
Go,
say
go.
I don't have much more to add, really, because...
No, I was just gonna say, it is late, but maybe we could get a small peek of another person point of view, which is Chicken. I believe he had a very good idea on how the Edana tournament. So please give your opinion. I'm gonna try to contact him real quick. Hold up. Let me message him.
Who?
Chicken. You know the Corsair player?
We're almost done. Tell him to come next week.
I know. Okay. I'll tell him to come next week then.
I don't have much more to add to it, to be honest, to this topic.
Idex need to hit more stun.
I haven't hit anything yet for the last 3 hours.
But like yesterday, I didn't just hit a single mob. I need to at least 1 or 2 hours grind a day. I'm a veteran and I need to create content for other contents and the next contents. But I feel like I'm lazy today. And in week, I'm just grinding 1 or 2 hours and I'm just yapping nonstop. In the weekends, I'm doing nothing. I don't know what am I gonna do in the future contents.
Anyways, let's just do our rounds of closing thoughts as per usual. About everything we've talked. I'm gonna start saying that I think it's an interesting direction that the game has taken. I think whether we like it or not, the game is not the same as it was before. And on paper, it seems good concepts. So let's give it time to see where we are headed out. But so far, I'm enjoying the game again, which is good. Like, I want to turn up the PC, do my stuff, drop a couple of hours of grind, do my Node War PvP, and then keep with my life, right? It's just that it's good. It's good times to be on video, and I think a lot of people are now joining. If you guys see the numbers on Steam, it's going good. Like it's been successful so far. People are enjoying the game. But yeah, let's start things off with Archive. Closing thoughts?
Well, I think overall, all the changes that PA did recently, both in PvE and PvP, are going in the right direction. But even as Biceptimus said before, it looks like every time PA does a good batch of changes, they also suddenly stop and go, "Oh, okay, we're good, we're fine, no more." So I think for now they're not going to stop. They're going to keep it up. Let's say close the circle with all the changes that, in some aspect, they feel unfinished. With Edania being a starter, but also all the stat changes, PvE changes, all that stuff. And they keep going with it. They are really close to having a pretty well polished product at the moment. The game is going in a nice direction overall compared to what it's been for the past few months, at least in relation to that. And if they do a few more changes, listen to feedback never heard of before, we might be getting close to a very good period for video.
Okay. Alex, closing thoughts?
I've been really motivated since this release. There's so many new things to go for. I got really tired of the Orzekia grind. And now there's like, I am also really motivated to I want to log in, I want to grind, I want to get all these items, I want to get my gear score up slowly again. I'm excited to see what happens in the future, mainly. There's still like things I'm holding in my mind, like what kind of new items are they going to introduce? Because we just got Karazats, we got the new armors, we got the new offhand. Basically, we were getting full purple gear, but we're still missing one item, which is the Alchemy Stone. So yeah, I'm really excited to see what's going to happen with the Alchemy Stone changes, what they're going to do, what Edania Part 2 is going to be like. Mainly fixes with current grind spots and whatnot, what kind of changes current grind spots will still see, because next week I believe Orbita is going to see a change to the tower HP. So I'm really interested if that is going to like change the way of grinding what we have now.
I don't think
if that
so,
is going to affect.
They said the damage you need to just steal will be the same.
It's the same, yeah. Okay.
Maybe it's some kind of related with coding that's definitely not our business. They wanted to do it in that way. I don't know.
Yeah, I hope so, at least, because right now when I looked at the numbers at YouTube, and most classes pull really close numbers to each other. And I'm quite happy to see this. Yeah, except of course they buffed Sukuno and
Suck Ninja.
Sorry, Suck Ninja, my bad.
Suck
Ninja. They buffed it and they shouldn't have.
Suck Witch, just wait on Looney. We will see.
Other than that, no, I'm happy. I'm just genuinely happy. I'm excited. I'm motivated. I like this game.
Okay. And Quenya, you take it from here.
Okay. So I want to thank people, whoever just listened until this point. We're almost done with this podcast. Next week, or maybe 2 weeks later, it totally depends the participants, real life, and if they're just busy or not. It depends to that. Thank you so much for being here. What I'm thinking about the current state of the game. Overall, I'm giving to game right now 8 out of 10, except few points like class balance, PvP and PvE. They should start to think, they should start to listen what we say. We are not expecting from them 10 out of 10 balance. We are expecting from them the gap between kind of meta classes and average or bad classes. The gap is getting bigger and bigger every patch. Please don't do that. Just nerf Suck Ninja, Suck Witch or something, and just show that you guys are actually aware of the situation. Otherwise, there will be no change. The names are changing, but same shit, different color is just continue every day and every week, every patch, every big patch. But overall, I like the situation of the game. You have goal right now, aim right now to progress gear. That's all I can say. You know what we say? Do not forget, video is just a game, and don't trust our developers. Yeah. From this moment on the live stream, I have to do some announcement. Like in 2 hours, I'll just re-stream again. I'll start to stream, but it will be Turkish language. I have to say that. Every 2 months, I'm just doing Turkish streams. In that streams, probably in the end time, it takes like 3-4 hours. I will just give ExitLag code giveaway. You can join that. You don't need to speak Turkish to join that. If you can catch it, try to join that, guys. Maybe you can have it. And I will send you guys to Zethian, okay? If it is okay. And IDEX, you gonna stream?
Bye-bye.
You're gonna keep streaming?
Yes, I'm going to keep streaming because I need to do the Prince boss soon.
Oh, okay. Let's go the IDEX. Wait, hold up. I thought you were gonna just end.
No.
IDEX.
I haven't grinded at all yet. I mean, I
Okay,
did
okay.
an hour, but
He
it's
has
not
to
enough.
smack rocks, man. He has to punch
I need
rocks.
crunch stones.
Hello.
He's not
Okay,
geared
IDEX,
enough.
yeah.
He needs
Yeah.
to proc 5
Yeah.
passives of Dosa.
By the
Need
way,
to
someone
break
just
the game.
subscribed. Thank you so much for subscription. Guys, I'm sending you to IDEX. And in IDEX stream, you can have lots of answers for Dosa contents. He is Lord of Dosa, and you can ask questions about Awakening Dosa. He is ready to answer whatever you want. Thank you so much for being here. I will just say into something Turkish. 2 saat sonra Türkçe yayın var. Bayağı bir şey konuşuruz. Sınıflar hakkında, genel şey hakkında. Kaçırmayın. Aynı zamanda ne diyeyim? Sonunda da bir ExitLag çekilişi var. Onu da kaçırmayın. 2 saate görüşürüz. Bye bye. See you guys.
Yeah. Thank you guys for coming and joining.
Yeah, thank you. Coffee
actually-
is calling
Yeah.
me. I
It
need
was-
coffee.
It was actually